Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Untitled Gaming Podcast project for episode 16. Today, we got our topic. We're going to be going over games that define eras of our life, going over elementary school, high school, and adult life, as well as covering a bit of those famous news headlines that have been, begging to be talked about this week. I'm joined by my co-host.
I'm Tyus.
And today, we're going to get right into it. So, news-wise, do we want to go more obscure and then top it off with like the big thing, or what do you think?
I think it's kind of impossible to ignore the elephant.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about it.
Yeah, so there is the Steam Deck announcement.
God, it's so hard not to call it. I almost keep saying Stream Deck.
Yeah, it's one letter off.
It shouldn't bug me that much, but it's like I literally just bought a Stream Deck. I'm like, I have it on my desk right here, and I'm like, oh god, like I'm gonna keep confusing this.
Mm-hmm.
But
did you pre-order the Steam Deck, by the way?
The Steam Deck? No.
Oh, I did.
Oh, you're gonna get it?
Yeah.
Oh, sick, bro. Yeah. So okay, this is interesting then. I want to hear what factors went into your decision making on getting it.
All right. Well, for people who don't know, the Steam Deck is essentially like a portable handheld gaming computer with two joysticks, like a bunch of buttons. It pretty much looks like a Switch, except you can't remove the sides from it.
I think I got a prediction as to one of the key factors that went into this. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
What's your prediction?
It's pretty much the essential portable Final Fantasy XIV device.
You are absolutely not wrong.
At least that's one aspect. That's gonna be at least one aspect.
That is one. I've never really played Final Fantasy XIV with controller, so that's gonna be a bit interesting for me.
It's funny that you say that because that's literally the only way I can play now.
Oh yeah, I play mouse keyboard, so that's what I'm used to.
My fingers get too stretched. I don't like it.
Oh, like, to be honest, I click a lot of my abilities.
Oh, damn, okay. Well, that makes sense then.
Yeah, it's like, for me, it's like, I'll generally have like a 1-2-3 combo that I use like my fingers for, but like for the rest of my abilities, I use my mouse to click them.
Yeah. With controllers, it gets a little bit tricky to get used to because everything relies on which trigger you're holding down to like access your abilities, or like if you really want to get into it, you can make double tapping the trigger access more like items on your hotbar, and then holding down one, then pressing the other access even more items. I'm so used to it now that I can do it without looking, but like it took a bit to get used to.
Yeah. My girlfriend, she plays on controller, and like when I see her playing, I'm just like, I don't understand what's going on. I have other friends who even raid on controller, and I'm like, I don't get how you do that.
The only time it gets difficult is maybe healing, but even then, like the your party list is pretty much dedicated to the D-pad, which makes it way more bearable rather than like clicking around. I could just like scroll down. Although I'm pretty sure you could there's probably a binding to go down your list quicker. Anyway,
but yeah,
Steam Deck.
The Steam Deck. Another big reason why I got it is I travel a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Be it like somewhere for like the day, because I don't have a car, so I use public transportation.
Yeah.
So be it like that. I go to my girlfriend's house a lot. I go to like family members' houses a lot. I go out to like friends' houses, or like I'll go to public events and whatnot.
Yeah.
And having the ability to have those games on me is pretty helpful. Even like there are certain games that I won't even like regularly play at home on my PC.
Yeah.
Like, it's part of the reason why my Steam backlog is so big. But like there's some games like let's say the Resident Evil series. If I get spooked and I want to scream, I can't do that inside of my house comfortably because I have a lot of people in my house.
Yeah.
So like, for example, I can just take my Steam Deck and go to my garage and play in my garage, where if I scream, I'm not going to bother anyone.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's honestly really good reason.
Also, a portable fighting game machine sounds pretty sick.
I was like, I gotta be honest though. Because I think I know the image that you're talking about. Is it the one with like they have it set up in the dock and they have the two fight sticks on like the small screen?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I don't is the screen a little bit too small? Because I feel like the only frame of reference I have is I'm thinking about like Smash Bros on like a Switch, playing like with it on handheld with like the two Joy Cons maybe detached and playing like that. And like
Don't ever underestimate how far fighting game players will go to. Because, like, even at Elko in the activity center, we used to play on a Wii U screen.
oh god, okay, maybe it's Jesus,
And
just
then,
on the Wii U screen, like the game.
yeah, like, yeah, we used to play off of the Wii U gamepad.
I will admit,
and-
I did one time on a flight have my Wii U set up and played on the gamepad.
And I will also say, do not underestimate fighting game players and their willingness to do anything to play the game that they love. This was the finals of a tournament.
Oh my god, okay, this photo is up right now so you can see this.
Yeah, they played Melty Blood in they played a tournament in a bathroom, in a hotel bathroom.
What the Why? Wait, like, how are they even seeing? Is the TV in the sink like not important? Like, what is happening to that? Like, I'm looking at the one in the sink, but they're so low. Like, they're not looking at that screen, are they? Or
I think the one in the sink is for the spectators.
for the spectators. Jesus Christ, that's awesome. Okay, no, just this picture alone has debunked my whole thought that no one would ever use it like that. Totally wrong. Because the one thing I was thinking back to is that I know that when it was at Evo, wasn't it, when you were playing Street Fighter on your what was it, on your laptop?
On my laptop,
joined
in the
it?
line to get in.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, okay, so clearly, yeah, there is a market for this. But like, okay, screen size doesn't matter. I'm so fucking wrong.
Well, not only that, but like there's been a conversation in the fighting game community, like it's been on and off for a while, where people want to make PC the tournament standard for like fighting game consoles.
Oh, interesting.
But it's difficult to do that because, PCs are fucking expensive.
Yeah, especially like you're gonna have to have dedicated ones that you would have at every event, and like,
and transporting them is not going to be an easy thing at all.
that's literally what I was gonna say next. And like, if you're gonna be using them constantly, they could overheat, especially in that environment that they're in. Like,
yeah, and then like for the biggest tournaments, you're gonna have to have like thousands of these PCs.
yeah, like, it's a
Steam
nice
Deck,
thought. Oh,
like, in theory, could be the answer that we're looking for.
hey, no, that's actually, it's good. Like, I honestly am all in favor of just having okay. Let me try and like figure this out one way at a time. ADHD, calm down. The thing is that like I'm excited to see if this actually drives up competition for more handheld, like basically gaming PCs, because it's not the same thing as the Switch. The Switch is just meant to be a handheld console, like hybrid. This is like a little bit, in my opinion, this is a little bit more ambitious.
A little bit. I mean, you can also, because I don't know how much you looked into the Steam Deck, but it is gonna have like a dock.
Yeah, it's gonna be sold separately from what I read online.
But they also said that like any dock with like a USB Type C, like, what is it? Not like a port, but like a USB Type C
just an in,
charger thingy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like similar to the Switch dock. It's they said like any of those docks would actually work with the Steam Deck.
That's the thing that like I really like about this the Steam Deck has just been the amount of I'm trying to figure out what the word is. It like hands offness, or like, because like Steam is pretty much or not Steam but Valve has pretty much stated like, oh yeah, you could wipe the Steam OS if you wanted to and just basically use this as just a PC if you want to use it for like, I guess, Photoshop or like any other like thing. You're able to do it whatever you want with it, really. And I really do admire that. Like, that amount of personalization is something that, like, its competitors don't have.
Yeah, it's really cool because aside from that, they also said like pretty much anything you can do on a PC, you can do on the Steam Deck, including like downloading Windows, including like modding games, etc., etc. Like you can pretty much do whatever you want on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, I could see myself if like I don't know, next time I'm going on a trip, I would like to have something like the Steam Deck, but like just for I don't know what it is. For me, like for a lot of my PC games, I usually just because I'm not really playing when I go out that much, I usually just go to my desk. So this product, I think that's kind of like why I haven't really like considered pre-ordering or anything like that. It's just because I feel like the Switch kind of covers everything I really need. Like I'm not really looking for like at least like the like you know triple or is it triple M looking for? Is that the word? Just like titles that are like more modern running on Switch hardware because it's always like so slow. I usually just play it on my PC and I'm like that's fine. Like I'm not really dying to play it like on the go.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely feel that. Like for me, one of my favorite genres is like RPGs, like in particular probably like JRPGs,
Yeah.
but I can't I prefer to play them on the Switch because I like having it on the go.
Yeah.
Like being able to play like an RPG to pass the time, just doing whatever, even if it's like I take the bus somewhere and I get there early and like I'll just sit down like at a Starbucks, buy a coffee and just sit there playing on my Switch or something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it helps at least from what I like have done. It helps with like my grinding and stuff like that because it's literally like I'll just take it out, I'll just grind a bit in like wild areas and then just pop back in. Like when I actually like am ready to progress, like I'll just put in my dock, play on the TV.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
usually what I do.
Yeah, and I've bought a few RPGs on Steam and then I just never end up playing them because like when I sit down at my computer, I'm playing like one of like maybe four things. I'm either playing League of Legends, Final Fantasy 14, Eternal Ocean Black Survival, or
Yeah.
whatever fighting game is like currently on my mind.
Whichever one's in your current rotation, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's like I play those four games, and I have like this huge Steam backlog that I've built up over years because of like Steam sales and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm
And it's
pretty much
just
in
like
that same camp.
I see the backlog and I'm like, I want to cut you down. But you know, my friend just hit me up to play League of Legends, or I really want to grind in Eternal Return, or like I just thought of like this combo for this fighting game, or I want to practice this.
Bro, every
And so
time oh yeah, go on.
oh no, so it's just like I see the problem, and it's just like I choose to ignore it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I relate to the backlog issue because it's like not only like my Steam backlog, but like my PlayStation backlog is also really fucking long. Like, especially just my digital like catalog, because I'll see shit on sale and I'm like, oh, I've been curious about this, or oh, like I really wanted to play this when it came out, but I've been like kind of like moved past it, so I buy it, and then it just sits there, and I'm like, well, fuck, I gotta figure out time for this, but also at the same time, Final Fantasy 14 owns my life. So I gotta keep keep devoting all my time to it. I will say I am surprised I got through all the Resident Evil games. I am surprised and glad I like set aside time to be able to do that.
I bought a bunch of them during the Steam sale, and I still haven't even started them up.
Bro, you gotta do it.
Yeah, like I got what? I got 2 remake. I don't think I got 3 remake. Let me look at it right now. Oh no, I did get 3 remake. I got 2, 3, 7, and 8.
Yeah, so far as a person with no nostalgia, looking over like because I did 2 remake, 3 remake, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Those are the only ones I've played. And so far from all those, my favorite has to be 2 remake.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from a lot of people, that 2 remake is like
It's so
absolutely
good.
godlike.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I just like it was the thing that actually like decided like that made me decide to get into it. And like that's not to say the other games are bad at all. They're all like such a good time. Like I've now found a new series I love thanks to 2 remake. So now I've become attached to it.
Hmm.
That's just how it be. But this is honestly the Steam Deck is just another perfect tool to finally chip away at that backlog. I totally see what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, like, in terms of the other thing that people keep saying is, and I totally agree. This thing's gonna be like the ultimate emulation machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, geez, getting like Dolphin running on that and like being able to play GameCube on the go, like, little jealous of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have like knowing me, at some point I'll probably get bored and download like Dolphin, maybe Project 64, PSX, or PSCX, I think it is. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
the PlayStation emulator. I've used
yeah.
it
I have
before.
it. I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember the name, but yeah,
I'm probably gonna get like a bunch of those and just have like a bunch of my favorite old nostalgia games that I can't take on the go with me, but now I can.
yeah, man. Like, it's just crazy, and like I really hope that this isn't just like a one-off thing. I hope that like we do have more options in this like handheld gaming PC market. It's gonna be really cool. The one thing where I'm like, I do think people need to calm down a little bit is I keep seeing people talking about how like this is gonna destroy Nintendo, or like, oh, like this is like Nintendo needs to learn their lesson from this. I'm like, okay, like it's not like that intense.
Well, I think the thing that so many people fail to realize is that Nintendo has never been one for the hardcore market.
Yeah,
They've always had the focus on all ages fun comes first.
yeah,
So it's like, of course, they're not going to make like a fancy like $700 Switch that can run 4K and everything.
yeah.
Like, I think the people who thought that were completely like in the wrong state of mind when they believed those quote unquote leaks.
Yeah, that's the thing that's like just really annoying. And I know we talked about this last week, but it's really just a matter of like you set these like expectations that the company never set for you. It was just random like accounts on like 4chan, and you're like, okay, yeah,
Mhm.
let me just take this at its face value. And like the aspects are right, but like it's not the whole thing, and like you get your hopes so high. The one thing that bothered me is like I kept seeing like a lot of people being like, "Oh yeah, I'll just get a Switch emulator on this, and it's gonna like it's gonna be the Switch Pro." And I'm like, okay, at that point, like you are literally just bootlegging like games. Like I'm all for emulation, and like I do support like game preservation, but I always say it's like you got to be at least like the generation behind, or at least on whatever they're like not making profit on like anymore. If it's people ripping their own Switch games, though, I guess that is also a different story.
Yeah, I mean, like, in one way, I understand wanting to see like a game that you love, like in higher specs, I guess.
Yeah, but
Like,
even then, I don't know if like it's necessarily even gonna run any better on the Steam Deck itself.
that's true. I do, however, understand people wanting to use the Steam Deck to play Smash Ultimate Online better
Oh hell yeah! Oh my
because,
god!
like, I know the Yuzu emulator, um, plays like Smash Online like significantly better than Nintendo's online.
Ah, that's so painful.
So having Yuzu on a Steam Deck and playing online with that, I can understand that reason
Yeah.
for doing emulation.
Yeah, me too. I totally get that too. I don't know. The main thing is I think the Steam Deck is a really, really good thing, and it just adds a lot more options for people that maybe want to get into like the gaming marketplace, or especially like the PC gaming marketplace. Because I knew for a long time I always wanted to like have better hardware, and it took me like till basically when I was out of high school and I was putting together not even a PC for gaming, just a editing PC. It just happens that the two kind of coincide. But like for me, if I was like back when I wanted to get into it, if I had something like the Steam Deck, it's such a perfect like get your foot through the door kind of option.
Yeah, definitely.
I see this being a great way to get more people onto the PC, like the PC master race, but you know what I mean.
Not gonna lie, like growing up, I was always like never a part of the whole PC Master Race type
Oh yeah,
deal.
me neither.
Like, I was a console boy. I was a PlayStation and Nintendo boy.
Same.
Uh, but once I got my gaming PC, 3 years ago,
Hmm.
like my life was different.
Yeah, dude. PC gaming is like a whole other fucking story.
Yeah, like I used to play on a really shitty old laptop, and I
Mm.
used to be totally fine with that. Like my friends in high school, like I was like the budget gamer. Like I would play like League of Legends on the lowest settings and get like a maximum of like 24 FPS,
Oh yeah, dude, we're
and I would be
similar in that
fine
way.
with that.
Yeah.
Like I would play Final Fantasy. I would even play Final Fantasy 14 like loading into like Limbs of Laminsa would like practically kill my computer, but I'd still do it.
Gotta set that resolution at 800 by 600, baby. Let's fucking go. Oh my god, I
Yeah.
remember playing like all like Valve games like that. Shit. Like,
Yeah. And eventually like uh I had enough money saved up and it was Black Friday. I saw like this good gaming PC for sale. Yeah,
mhm.
so I didn't build my PC, but I asked my friends who are like who build their own PCs quite often, like I sent them a link to it and I'm like, "Hey, is it worth it for this price?" And they were like, "Yeah, it's pretty good." So I just bought it.
Yeah. I mean, it's always
Um
good also to make sure like because the other thing is I noticed that, like, especially on like Amazon or like other websites, there's a lot of like really kind of like sketchy gaming computer options. So like, especially if anyone listening to this is like looking into getting like gaming PC, like definitely talk to somebody who knows like the hardware.
yeah,
Like
I
that
would
stuff always
definitely
helps.
say probably don't just buy like something off Amazon that says like gaming PC.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, I went to a like a very well-known retailer, iBuyPower,
Mm-hmm.
because like they sponsor a bunch of like gaming events and whatnot.
Yeah.
Uh, I also wasn't gonna go with Alienware because like I know Alienware is literally just like a huge ripoff because of the brand name.
I was to say, I thought maybe okay, maybe I'm remembering this wrong. I thought Walmart bought Alienware. I'm not sure if that's true though.
They might have. It sounds familiar.
I don't know. There's I remember something about maybe Walmart bought something else. I'm not sure. Anyway.
But yeah, once I got my PC and I started using it, um, I was like, damn, this is actually kind of next level.
Yeah.
And I remember, like I think it was like maybe a week or 2 weeks after I got my PC, and I was gonna spend the night at my girlfriend's house, and I brought my laptop. And I tried opening. I opened up Final Fantasy 14, and I saw how like how slow it was and how ugly it looked, and I was like, I cannot play this. Like, I can't.
I love how literally like I went through the same thing you did. Like literally the same. It got to the point where I literally just bought like a traveling case for my PC and I would like just take it with me.
Oh no, for me, it's like at this point, like that laptop is kind of like exclusively for like on the go work and stuff like that.
Mm.
And like occasionally I'll play like games that don't require a lot of processing power.
Indie games, let's go.
Not even like indie games, like general, I'll just use it to play like Teamfight Tactics for League of Legends.
Oh, okay, I see.
Just because like that one doesn't require like Twitch movement in a lot of cases, so it's literally just like
Mhm.
I'm just gonna play a little bit and just chill.
Yeah, yeah. I see what you
At this
mean.
point, like my Switch has become my travel like buddy, but at this point, maybe come December, like I might be speaking a different tune.
Ooh, you hear that, Nintendo? You just lost a
Well,
customer.
no, it's not that they've lost a customer, because like I'm still definitely gonna buy Nintendo games, like
Obviously.
and continue using my Switch.
Mhm.
Like, um, it's just having the ability to, yeah, it's completely different market. Like I'm gonna look at the Switch for their first party games,
Exactly. Yeah.
like first party and like the second party games that are like Switch exclusives.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, but when it comes to like triple A games or games that were designed for more powerful hardware,
Mhm.
like that's what the Steam Deck is going to be for.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. Yeah, my closing thoughts on it are literally just like this is kind of like the thing I wish I had when I was in like high school and like was just running on my Microsoft Office pre-built like you can't add or expand anything to this PC I played on.
Oh man, if I had this thing in high school, my productivity would be absolutely negative.
Yeah, no, totally.
Absolutely negative.
Ugh, but yeah, you want to give any last closing thoughts on it?
I wouldn't call it the Switch killer, but it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing, just competition and gaming as a whole, I think.
Yeah, it helps push the market as a whole forward.
Yeah, totally. Speaking of competition and pushing the market forward, look out, Smash Bros. We-
Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl.
Bro, rollback netcode. What the fuck? Why did they get this?
Because they actually care about their freaking community.
Why do they get better fucking online multiplayer than Smash Ultimate?
Okay, for context, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl is being developed by the devs that made Slap City.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Slap City at all?
Yeah, I looked up footage after I heard about it.
Yeah, and on top of that, like those people used to be like competitive Melee players.
Oh my god, dude.
So like people in the playtesting Discord have already confirmed that there's like wave dashing and advanced tech in the game.
I want so badly for this to be like tournament viable. Like I want tourneys of this.
I mean, it's looking like it's gonna be tournament viable.
I really fucking hope so. Although I'm gonna be a fucking Nigel main. Let's fucking go.
I need to see all the characters that are gonna be announced. So
Yeah, so
I'm
far
not making any promises yet.
yeah, that's true. So far, the only thing that bugs me is just that apparently, I think it was confirmed. I really hope it wasn't confirmed, but I read that there isn't going to be any voice acting.
Oh, really? That kind of blows.
And I mean, it kind of shows in the trailer because they're all quiet. And it's like, I don't know what that is. If maybe it was due to like, they had to somehow, like maybe getting all those voice actors together would have like maybe lengthened production time. Like, and they needed to make a deadline. I'm not entirely sure, but I honestly like it does. I think that is going to impact it a lot.
It might also be because I know that some of the original voice actors for some of the Nickelodeon characters have passed away,
That's true too.
and maybe they want to kind of like preserve the, how would I put it, like the original integrity of the voices, and they don't want to reuse stuff.
Yeah, because like I could equally see an argument if they recycled voice clips and stuff from other like just episodes or even just from like past games. If they just reuse them here, people would be like, oh, they're lazy either way. But like I don't know. I still personally would have preferred even just recycling old voice clips. But if it is just a matter of like integrity or time, don't know. But it's just a weird thing.
Yeah, because I feel like, I mean, one of the best parts about like SpongeBob, for example, is just how quotable that entire series is.
Seriously. Patrick fucking just yells firmly grasp it as he meteor smashes me.
Or he's charging up his forward smash and he just says, "Here comes the giant fist!"
Here comes the giant fist! It had, like, honestly, like, that has a lot of potential. I don't know. It's one weird thing. The gameplay could outshine that. It could definitely still be enjoyable without the voice clips. But it is going to be something that I feel like is going to be an elephant in the room every time, like, I play it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it though. I'm like even the somebody made a post about this, but apparently the reception to it has been so big and so positive that they are actually considering like DLC and post-launch support.
Can you imagine, like, at the next Game Awards, they have, like, fucking Nickelodeon All-Stars, like, announcement?
DLC reveal, dude,
Yeah.
I would be hyped, dude.
That would actually be incredible.
Jack Black just bursts onto the stage and they announce Nacho Libre as a playable character.
I would actually, like, no joke, fucking want that so badly.
That's why I said it, dude. I'm not memeing. I love Jack Black.
Oh my fucking god, dude. That would be so good. I just want this to be good. Like, memes aside, like, they've got a good, like, got a good studio behind it. Let's see it, you know?
Yeah.
Let's fucking see. It still is just blowing my mind that it's happening, because I remember when it was leaked, like, a few days prior, and everyone was kind of like, oh, it's kind of like a joke thing. Then we saw the trailer and the studio behind it. It's like, oh, this is like,
Wait, this is like actually a Smash game.
like, this is like a nice surprise for once. Like, holy shit. Anyway, you got a headline for me?
Yeah, so I don't know if you've seen, but Atlas was hinting for new Persona games.
Oh, yeah. I think they said they got like 7 projects to announce, wasn't it?
Yeah, but like some of it's like gonna be like, you know, artwork and stuff, like
Yeah.
poster sets and whatnot. But they've also shown like artwork of all of the protagonists from the Persona games, and then one labeled secret, so people are expecting, you know, Persona 6 to be on the way.
I mean, honestly, they could literally just present maybe kind of like when they announced Persona 5 back on like when they said it was still going to be for the PS3 with like just that stylistic poster of the chairs and the ball and chain.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as a longtime Shin Megami Tensei fan, I'm very excited.
Yeah, a lot to look forward to, definitely.
And according to a quote unquote insider leak,
Oh, here we go.
apparently they're going to be remastering Persona 4 Arena Ultimax for modern systems.
That looks likely. That appears to be pretty likely.
Apparently it's not going to be a thing till 2022, but if it is, I am so fucking hyped for it.
So, from what I understand, is the same people behind Blaze Blue? Did they also do the Ultimax?
Yeah, so Arc System Works is the people that have done Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue, and Dragon Ball Fighters.
Gotcha. Okay.
And they are also the ones who developed Persona 4 Arena and Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
And those games are like actually so fun.
I was I was looking up footage of Ultimax gameplay. And I was like, wow, like, and again, another time where I'm like, oh, I want to check this out. Same way as I'm now kind of checking out Guilty Gear Strive and being like, oh, this seems kind of neat. I want to dip my toes in that.
Like Arc System Works translated the feeling of like Persona and like the characters and how they fight in game into a fighting game in what, in my opinion, in like almost like a near perfect way.
Really?
Yeah, like it's insane how like on the nose they hit it, and like all the characters feel super unique and they have a lot of personality because you know them from the games that they came from.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's not just Persona 4 characters, it's also Persona 3 characters.
Mm-hmm. So is it because is the story, because most of the spin-off games, the stories are still canon? Is the story canon in Ultimax?
I have no clue.
Oh, great.
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah, see, because, like, I know, I'm not going to spoil it, but, like, I know some things about Persona 3 that have already been spoiled for me, so it makes me always confused whenever I see crossover with Persona 3 and anything.
Well, I know Persona Q isn't canon,
Yeah.
but if P4 Arena and Ultimax feel canon because they talk about stuff that happens, like, in the games and, like, it keeps a continuous timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I don't know if you know this, but like P3, P4, and P5 all take place on like the same timeline.
Yeah.
Because like you can, they in P5 they talk about stuff that happened in P3 and P4.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly like the little threads that connect it all together. I was watching videos that were like basically like picking apart the little references.
Yeah, but so Persona 4 Arena and Ultimax, they do a really great job of translating the characters into a fighting game because in the game you have a like a light and a heavy normal attack button, and then like a light and a heavy persona attack button.
Oh, interesting.
And each of the characters has a little persona cards underneath their HP bar.
Ooh, okay.
And so if you hit the persona while it's doing an attack, then one of the cards gets broken.
Oh.
And in Persona 4 Arena 1, everybody had 4 cards.
Mm-hmm.
But in Ultimax, they changed it so that the number of cards is kind of representative of how often like the character would be using like special moves.
Oh, okay.
So like for somebody like say somebody like Chie, who she focuses a lot like on just like normal attacking, like she's a martial artist, right?
Yeah, like physical text.
I think she only has like 2 or 3 persona cards.
Okay.
But then somebody like Yukiko, who is focused on using magic and whatnot, she has I think 6 persona cards.
Hmm.
And they balance it out around that a lot. And it's really, really cool.
It really seems like it was designed around like the characters from the games and not just like let's slap these characters from what's popular and just kind of put it into but even though it's from like a good game series, like just throw it into a fighting game.
Yeah, no, and it was really weird because no one expected that to happen.
The actual attention to detail.
No, not the actual attention to detail, the idea of a Persona fighting game.
Oh, just in general.
Yeah, just no one expected a Persona fighting game, and then they just made one.
I mean,
Turned out really, really good.
Honestly, I was blown away by just how good what's called the Persona 5 Strikers is.
You know what? I bought that during the Steam sale, and I still haven't played it.
Dude, it's like it is blowing my mind that it's the same team that does Dynasty Warriors, because like they stay so it's just a straight up sequel to Persona 5 with Dynasty Warriors gameplay, and it fucking blows me away of just how much it feels like a Persona game. Like it literally just feels like another Persona game with different combat.
Yeah, that's what I've heard like all the time. And again, I could say the exact same thing about Persona 4 Arena.
Why are they so good at spin-offs?
I don't know. Like part of me really wishes that the Persona dancing games were not locked on the PlayStation 4/Vita, because boy howdy would I love to play those games, and I really don't want to like turn on my PS4.
It would be nice for the anniversary for them to be like, hey, you know what? Persona for all. Let's break down these boundaries.
Also, Persona 4 Arena and Ultimax have godlike soundtracks.
I fucking bet. Oh god, I can already kind of picture what to look for there.
Like each character has their own character theme, and God, I love like all of them.
I've already heard a few of the remixes thanks to them being added to Spotify. I remember like going through all the Persona playlists. I was like, oh shit, like this is good.
Yeah, like in particular, one of my favorites is Yosuke's theme. His is called the Hero from Junes. Like it's got like this really, really good like funky beat to it.
I like that.
Like,
I like that a lot.
I love that song. But yeah, so there's that for one bit of news. I also have something else that I'm not sure if you're aware of.
Uh-oh.
Pokemon Unite, the MOBA that Pokemon is making for Switch and mobile.
Yeah, I vaguely remember this.
It got a release date last week.
Wait, it did?
Yeah, it's going live in 2 days on Switch.
2 days?
Yeah, as of the recording of this video, on July 21st, Pokemon Unite will be available for Switch.
Oh god, the toxic fan base will finally exist.
Yeah, I have already made a how would I put this, like a commitment or a choice. If anything, I want to become the best Pikachu player in NA.
That's definitely you. Just like about what I'd expect from you. Oh my.
But yeah, so that's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I totally forgot that was even coming out. I remember, I think it probably was the reason why I was seeing gameplay of it. Because was there a beta, or was that just more gameplay was shown recently?
I think there was a beta, but it was like exclusive to a bunch of Asian countries.
Okay.
Because I think I saw like a video on like how to make a account for like this region's Nintendo uh Nintendo store, so that way you could get the game.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because by the way, if you're a Switch owner and you don't have a unlocalized Japanese account, you should do it. Get some
Mm-hmm.
get some good stuff. But yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, so that's a thing, and I'm pretty excited for it as somebody who is very much into Pokemon and MOBAs, as you will later find out in this video
Oh my god.
or podcast, I should say.
Yeah. I it's always been just hard for me to get into MOBAs just because the clicking. I mean, not all of them, not every MOBA involves like click to move, but it's always so hard for me to get over.
I mean, hey, this one's not going to be on PC. This one is entirely on PC and mobile, so
This might be, for me, it could be baby's first MOBA, and then maybe
Yeah,
I'll be
this-
like, okay, fine, I'll click around in League. God damn.
I would say, like, realistically, if you don't want to play League of Legends, because
Don't.
if you ask any person who plays League of Legends regularly if you should get into League of Legends, they'll all tell you the same thing, which is no.
I saw a fucking meme today that was like the Switch and then the Steam Deck, and then it's like this next to the Switch it says like can't run League of Legends, and then next to the Steam Deck it's like can run League of Legends, and then underneath it's like the Switch has won this
Yeah.
battle.
Yeah. League is a very like it grinds on your mentality because you have to deal with 9 other people,
Mm-hmm.
4 of which are on your team, and everybody hates each other.
Yeah, see, that's the thing that always stops me from diving in.
Yeah, it's very like it's super toxic. Like when people say like League is like toxic, or some people will argue that it's not toxic. Like the people who are saying it's not they're dead wrong in my opinion.
Yeah.
League is toxic. If you're playing with 4 friends on the one team and you're a 5-man stack, that's fine.
Okay.
Like I think that's when League is at its peak, and I've already explained that before. But
Yeah. Coming up, I'll have more time at my desk, and maybe I'll just give it a try.
I mean, I've been talking about this game for a while, but Eternal Return Black Survival on Steam.
I think I watched you stream that.
Yeah, it's a MOBA battle royale.
Yeah, I did watch you stream that. That one looks fun.
That one I like so much more for a variety of reasons. One, in League, if you're on a losing game and like nobody and you know it's like going to shit, you're stuck in that game for at least 15 to 20 minutes
Right.
before you get a surrender.
Jesus Christ.
Eternal Return, you have a bad game, you can die in 5 minutes and get into a new game just like that.
Damn. Well, I mean, watching you play made it seem like actually like way more exciting than I thought it would be.
And 2, instead of having 4 people on your team that you hate, it's literally just you, so you don't have to have anyone yelling at you. You don't have to have people.
All you have to
calling
do
you
is hate
slurs.
yourself, and there
Exactly, and I already do that. It's perfect.
you go. Fuck that! It has the most toxic community. It's just me. Ah, shit.
But yeah, if someone's looking to get into MOBAs and they're like the idea of playing with a team in League of Legends kind of turns you off from it. ERBS is really fun in my opinion. It's getting pretty big in Korea, and yeah, I'm having a good time with it.
That's good. No, honestly, now I will try this Pokemon one, and I would be honestly like, it'd be bad, but I'd find it funny if it ended up being just as toxic as League for the fucking Pokemon MOBA.
I mean, hey, the good thing is there's no keyboard because you're playing on a Switch. Or you're playing
Got it. Yo, come at me on the Switch app, buddy.
Come at me on the Switch microphone.
Oh my god. Try to let me see through mine, see if I have any other headline. There was Tetsuya Nomura said that Final Fantasy 3 odds of being made is it's in quote not zero. How do you feel about that?
Yes. Okay. Yes, the 10-3 potential. Let me talk about this.
Yeah, let's go.
This is a very big deal to me. Like a huge deal. So, 1. Final Fantasy X is my favorite Final Fantasy game, aside from Final Fantasy 14.
Right.
I have completed Final Fantasy X, I want to say like at least 3 different times.
Jesus.
4 maybe. Yeah, I've completed it on PS2. I beat it again on PS2. I played it on Switch. I played it on Switch once, and then I played it on Switch again with the international stuff.
Oh, right. Because the X 10 and 10-2 comes with that.
Yeah. And 10-2, in comparison to Final Fantasy X, is absolutely a garbage game, and I 100%ed it because I wanted to get the true ending because I love the story of Final Fantasy X that much.
But wait, if 10-2 is garbage in comparison, is that just in terms of like the combat, like leveling, difficulty, but like the story is still good?
The story is not even that good. I'm gonna be real.
What is so wait? What is the? I don't understand.
Like,
how can you love it so much if you say it's so bad?
I love 10. I don't love 10-2.
Okay, but 10-3 is where it could come back. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Okay. Because like one of the biggest issues of 10-3 is that, or 10-2 is that, like, you only have 2 members of the original party in your party, and one of the members, the main character Yuna, like her attitude does like a complete like 180, and it's completely different than what you remember in 10-1.
Oh God, really?
Yeah, and it kind of makes sense based on like what happened at like the end of 10, like why her personality changes. But it's like one of the biggest parts of 10 was like the entire party and how good that party was.
At Blitzball. Go on.
Yes, at Blitzball, exactly. But 10-2 had like you only had 3 party members, and it's not like there was any problems with them. It's just that it didn't feel as good as 10.
Okay.
The combat was also different, and the way that you leveled was different. Like there was a lot of really weird things with 10-2. They were being very experimental, which I can respect.
Right. But your attachment to the characters in the story is what like allows you to at least find enjoyment somewhere in there.
Yeah, kind of. And then so like 10 is also like a widely like highly claimed or a highly acclaimed Final Fantasy title. To the point where in Japan I think it's like their top 1 or top 2 favorite Final Fantasy, as taken by like a poll of a bunch of Japanese citizens.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like 10 is like in Japan it's considered like a kami game or a god game.
Oh damn, okay.
Like cuz it's like that good, like everybody knows it. It's like games like Final Fantasy X, Dragon Quest V, and stuff like that. Like those games are considered like kami games. Like everybody knows them, everybody loves them. And so they've released a lot of Final Fantasy X related media. One of which is like an audio CD kind of drama epilogue of what happens after 10-2 that sets up the story for 10-3.
Yeah, this is what I've always heard about.
And like listening to that made me so hype, and I want 10-3 because I want to see what's gonna happen, and I want to see like how they're gonna do it and how they're gonna like approach these new characters they introduce in this audio drama and everything. So
to contribute to the hype, I do honestly think it's in the cards, but the only thing is that I think it'll be in the cards once they're done with Final Fantasy VII Remake. Yeah,
because well, Nomura always said the reason that they're not doing Final Fantasy X-3 is because they're working on Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, really?
That was literally his like defense as to why they're not doing 10-3.
Dang. Okay, I didn't know that.
This was, if I'm not mistaken, he also said this before 7 remake was a thing.
Oh, okay.
So potentially, like once 7 remake is further along in development, they might do 10-3.
Yeah.
And I know that if 10-3 comes out, it's gonna like make a good portion of the world explode.
I mean, just the fact that like this happened and like he even like mentioned it's not zero. Well, obviously that alone is enough to give anyone hope, but I mean, I think again, I truly do think it's in the cards. I don't know like a lot about 10 obviously because I haven't played it, but like I know the Final Fantasy community from the outside looking in, and like I've always heard so many good things about 10, especially for like the upcoming generation that is now playing through Final Fantasy games. A lot of them started with 10 now. So it seems like the obvious next like key to at least feed into nostalgia, make sales that way, because it's gaming. A lot of it is feeding into nostalgia. 10 would be the next way to go.
I would highly, highly recommend anybody who has not played Final Fantasy X to play it. It like that was the first video game story that like as a, I guess, like quote unquote adult, like I was like in my mid-teens when I played it, like, and I actually beat it for the first time.
Yeah.
That was the first game to like actually make me like break down and cry.
Dang. For me, it was Mario 64 during the credits. When he said, "Thank you so much for it to play in my game," I lost it, dude. Bawling.
Yeah, that was way too deep.
But yeah, man, no, I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah, and I think, do you have anything else?
I guess Tale as Old as Time, and Tale that is repeatedly been going on throughout this whole podcast. But yeah, I own 10 and 10-2 on Steam. It is in my backlog.
I know you own it because I saw that you own it, and I'm like, just play it, dude.
Guess what? I go by it every time I select Final Fantasy 14. I get to walk right by it every time. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta play that one. Oh god. You gotta love to hate me. Anyway. Trying to think. I think that's all of the headlines I had. Did you have anything else?
Yeah, I saved the most important one for last.
Oh god, what?
So are you aware of a it's a kind of obscure title.
Oh no.
Raid Shadow Legends?
Where the fuck is this going?
Have you heard of that before? Have you heard of that game before?
I maybe just from every fucking gaming YouTuber on the face of the planet.
All right. So I don't know if you've heard,
Obscure game.
but
Fuck off.
but there's another it's a pretty obscure person.
Uh-huh.
Have you heard of Tyler Blevins?
Wait, Tyler Ninja Blevins?
Yeah, Tyler Ninja Blevins.
Oh my, Tyler fuck my mama in Fortnite Blevins?
Yeah, he Ninja is a playable character in Raid Shadow Legends.
Wait, what?
They made him into a character.
No, no, are you fucking kidding?
I'm not joking.
Wait, yeah, there it is. What the no, this is like fan fiction. Are you kidding? This is a mod. This is not
it's part of the game.
I mean, like, is there a way for Raid Shadow Legends to lose any more credibility that it already lost? Like, oh my, what is this? Have you played Raid Shadow Legends?
Nope.
I mean, I'll be honest, this is making me kind of want to know. What? This is his OC. Why is he like Sephiroth with a bow?
With like a glowing hand and everything.
He literally fucking ripped off Sephiroth. This is not cool. Got the one-winged angel. Get out of here. Get at in his fucking blue hair. I could taste the Frost Glacier freeze by looking at this image. Oh Oh my god, this is great. No, fuck it, whatever. Love it.
Yeah, that's why I had to save it for last.
What
It was
Raid
that important.
what Raid Shadow Legends needs to do is they need to add every esport and like YouTube, anyone who's ever sponsored Raid Shadow Legends like needs to be added to the game. And make them all like, don't just like port them in, like make them all like this, give them their own OC and try to make them like really like epic.
That would be fucking funny.
Like no joke, that would probably make them a lot of money. I bet more than like
I
they
bet,
probably
like,
do now.
I was gonna say like it would probably like I'm not even joking, like for people who are legitimate fans of Ninja, it might convince them to actually try the game out.
Yeah, I honestly I'd believe it. I'm not pushed any closer. I'm pushed farther away from this, but I mean, hey, for the audience that gets into Raid Shadow Legends, here you go. From what I hear, that game is like really aggressive with microtransactions.
Yeah, that like at one point I was thinking about like starting it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I looked up like reviews of it, and it was like, yeah, it's like you really have to pay to be anywhere decent in this game.
The closest I ever came to a gotcha mobile game is like probably Arknights, and then I don't know, I just got bored because I'd like tower defense games, but like it didn't feel like that deep. I guess I don't know.
I see.
Maybe just me. Maybe because I didn't really actually get into it. But yeah, not shitting on Arknights. I'm shitting on Raid Shadow Legends today, and this ninja thing. Like what the fuck.
Yeah, that was my final bit of news.
I can think of, you honestly nailed it. That's the best way to fucking top off this news segment and transition into
They
our
said
topic.
save the best for last, dude. I had to bust it out.
I'm literally in pain. My eyes can't unsee what I've seen. Oh god, Ninja's fucking OC. Anyway, on to the topic. Do you wanna begin this walk down, evaluating what exactly represents our childhood, our high school years, our adulthood now?
Yeah. So I just had this idea that we could talk about just games that for us kind of you know define what games that we would say defined us like at different points in our life,
Yeah.
and while simultaneously looking back and seeing how our tastes have changed along the way.
Yeah, I really liked this idea for a topic because it actually just, there are moments where I do look back at my taste in games now compared to what they used to be, and I'm like, wow, how did I get here?
Hmm.
Like, what did I play that led me to be more interested in this kind of game and get me like to where I am now? So yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah. So for context for people who are listening, we have chosen games from when we were in elementary school, so like young children, high school, so more adolescent, and then
Older
games
children.
that yeah, older children pretty much, and then games that we're playing, now, and just to see how we've progressed along our timeline, I guess.
Yeah. For my selections, I've definitely, like, the way I kind of I guess went about it was I picked one that basically encompassed everything, but also a lot of like notable games that impacted like that time. But I definitely have more to say about, like, I guess, like particular ones and when we get to them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So at least for me, for my like elementary school picks, I have 3 picks right here.
Hmm.
The first one is definitely Pokemon for me.
Yep.
Like I played so much Pokemon growing up. I like pretty much I made friends because of Pokemon. It was just like something that I instantly fell in love with. I fell in love with all the media, like the anime, the video games, the trading card games. I had books. I even had the manga. Like
Yeah.
I was just a huge fan of Pokemon.
Yeah, I feel like Pokemon is definitely just like the quintessential. Is that the word? I can't
Yeah,
pronounce.
quintessential.
but like childhood game. Like it really does kind of give you like all the fundamentals of like build, like especially in terms of like almost beginner RPG, like getting into that kind of game genre. But like the way that it brings like people together, it helps with like early childhood like social skills, I always felt.
Yeah, and I feel like you know, the people who complain that Pokemon is like it's just too much for babies like nowadays or whatever,
Mhm.
like I think that they don't think about the fact that a lot of people when they first started playing Pokemon was, back when you're in elementary school, back when you can like barely read.
Yeah, we were baby.
Yeah.
I don't even know how the fuck I got that far in blue without being able to read.
Hmm.
Like all I knew is that when I clicked on this, the bar went down.
Yeah.
Ugh. Pokemon's a really good choice though.
Yeah. Aside from that, or did you want to say one of yours?
Yeah, I guess. One that immediately comes to mind. Fuck. Um, I fucking gotta. I guess I gotta talk about Sonic Adventure. Sonic Adventure 2. Cause definitely growing. Cause like, and I get into it later. Cause like Sonic Adventure 2 is only one of my like kind of like honorable mention on my list of things.
Hmm.
And growing up, I had a Nintendo 64 as like my main system. And the first time I ever saw a GameCube was at a family friend's house. And of course, the game that they were playing was Sonic Adventure 2, and it was City Escape. And I was like, I just fucking like left my body. It was like another experience. I was like, what is this? What have I
Yeah.
just discovered? And
Hmm.
like after that, like I had, I asked them like, what is this? Like immediately when it came from like Christmas, I asked for my GameCube and I was like, I need Sonic Adventure 2. This is the game. And I just remember playing that game just every day coming home from school and like doing the Chow Garden, like oh my, so many hours of my life dedicated to that fucking Chow Garden.
Uh-huh.
And not only that, but like going to school, like I managed to find like a few other kids that were like into Sonic, and yes, I was the fucking cringy Sonic kid at my school running with my arms behind my back. Let's fucking go. Naruto running in gym class because it makes you go faster. But like I just, God, dude, there's a vibe that comes from the Crush 40 soundtrack that like takes me back to that era, and like I could so easily just like step back and like be like, oh my God, like this like was definitely fundamentals of what I what I thought was cool at the time.
Hey man, no, like I can definitely relate. The first time that I saw Sonic Adventure 2 was, I think it was at my cousin's house.
Mm,
They had a GameCube and they had Sonic Adventure 2, and just like watching my cousin go through City Escape, like uh
changed
I
me.
was like, yeah, it like, and I saw him running away from the gun truck. I was
Yeah,
like,
dude.
dude, what the hell? And like the next level, Metal Harbor.
Yeah. Oh my
Like,
God. And you ride the missile up into the air. You're like,
yeah,
oh.
like for me, like I was blown like away.
Yeah, I just always vividly remember turning the corner and that was on the TV and it was literally just the beginning of City Escape when he jumps out of the helicopter and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, it like
Door's box was opened.
yeah, it's a really good time just seeing like something hype from a video game for the first time, especially like back in the early 2000s,
Mhm.
seeing Sonic jumping out of a helicopter, ripping a piece of it off and grinding through like the streets of San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean like nowadays like looking back on it, I definitely can appreciate just the absurdity of like how serious that game takes itself. But I think that's always been the charm and like something that has been lacking in like a lot of Sonic games now is that like it a lot of Sonic games I feel like just don't understand what worked about the plots of like Adventure and Adventure 2.
Hmm.
Like you gotta, like it's stupid. You know it's stupid, but you take it seriously. And that's what's great. Oh God. But it's still fun. It's not even like just strictly taken seriously. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, hit me with your next choice.
My next choice is Kingdom Hearts.
Ooh,
I
damn.
played because I have a very vivid memory of getting the PlayStation 2 as a birthday present.
Mhm.
And it was like I think it was just like a few months after like it had just been released. I got a PlayStation 2, and it came with two. And my dad got me two games. He got me Kingdom Hearts, and he got me Final Fantasy X.
Damn, dude, what the fuck? Like two knock him out of the park JRPGs.
Yeah, yeah, and uh, like because of that, just that game was just it felt so good because like that was probably like my first time playing like a very like action oriented game.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say Kingdom Hearts 1 definitely.
Yeah, and so just the feeling of being able to like, jump around and shoot fire and like do these air combos, and later you get like a high jump and you get the ability to glide and everything. And the like exploration of like various Disney worlds was really, really cool to me.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think I don't know if I brought this up on podcast. I feel like I probably do because I always bring this up when I talk about Kingdom Hearts. I never get past the Tarzan world, but I hear like at least combat after that point does start to get like a bit better. I always hear Kingdom Hearts 2 is the like best when it comes to like the actual action combat. But yeah, I don't know what it is about the Tarzan section.
Yeah, I would say the best combat, it's probably two.
Hmm.
Two is just like overall it's just a phenomenal game realistically.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Kingdom Hearts definitely got me very much into like Square Enix as a whole really um I played Kingdom Hearts before I like played really any Final Fantasy game,
Mm.
and it helped show me all of these, Final Fantasy characters and whatnot.
Oh
It
yeah.
also showed me like I also hadn't watched a lot of Disney movies,
Hmm.
so it was really cool to kind of experience them uh through Kingdom Hearts.
I was about to say, did you even pick up on like the connection of like Final Fantasy X and like on what's it called, the starting island in Final Fantasy or in Kingdom Hearts? Is like, isn't it the protagonist of Final Fantasy X is like one of the kids on that island?
Two of the main party members, yeah, the
Yeah,
protagonist Tidus and Waka are two of
yeah.
the kids on Destiny Islands.
Did you pick up on that as a kid that it was like that those two games were connected since you started with those two?
Uh, I didn't pick it up until like I replayed Kingdom Hearts 1 like a lot later.
Oh, I see. But I actually was curious, like, because I don't know, for me as a kid, it was always really hard to get like into JRPGs because reading and like story stuff like that. But for you, like, what was it like to experience like something so story heavy for like a video game?
Um, hmm. It was very interesting
Really?
because I guess growing up, a lot of the games that I played were either like literally no story at all, um, like I would say like Pokemon for an example. Like Pokemon like Red, Blue, and Yellow doesn't really have a story so much as it's just like
But a set of goals to accomplish on the
yeah,
road to
beat
being
the eight gyms, beat the Elite Four, beat the champion, you win the game.
yeah.
So a lot of games that I played either had no story at all, or like a story like Kingdom Hearts, a story like Final Fantasy.
Hmm.
So for for me at least, it was kind of odd because when I would play games that were not exactly story focused, but they had a story, I would just not be interested because I had experienced like stories, like Kingdom Hearts, like Final Fantasy, etc., etc.
Hmm.
So like there was a point in time where it's either like I wanted either no story at all or only give me like this like 5-star like type story shit.
Jeez, those are like two very opposite ends of the spectrum, man.
Yeah, because like that's kind of how I enjoyed my games for a while, because it would just be like, um, these are the games where I kind of turn my brain off, and I just enjoy to like have a good time with like the feel of the gameplay.
Hmm.
Like what is it? Like let's say like a Mega Man, for example.
Yeah.
Like Mega Man, like in it technically does have a story, but no one really plays Mega Man for the story.
Right.
You play Mega Man for the fast-paced platforming. Same with like Mario. It's like you play Mario with the idea of I'm going to go save. I'm gonna go jump like on turtles and like chestnuts,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and then like eventually, oh, there's a princess.
Yeah. It's usually, yeah, it's a gameplay device. It's meant to make you go forward, not necessarily like meant to make you think about anything.
Yeah. So like that was kind of that was the way that I played games for a very long time.
Hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah. So it was odd for me because like I really liked the story of Kingdom Hearts 1, because at least with Kingdom Hearts 1 it wasn't super convoluted.
Right. Now, two, on the other hand.
Yeah, 2 like it gets weird. And also Chain of Memories, which is the technically the first sequel to Kingdom Hearts 1.
Hmm.
Like that's when the story gets convoluted and it just gets worse and worse as the games go on.
Fuck yeah.
So at the time, 1 was like it had story, but it wasn't like as insane.
Right. Yeah, I could see that. I like that. It seems like just a great way to get like started.
Hmm.
Hmm. Oh, I guess. Do you want to have anything else?
Uh, do you want to say your other title or another game?
Oh yeah, just closing thoughts on Kingdom Hearts. I thought
Oh, closing thoughts on Kingdom Hearts.
Hearts on Kingdom thoughts.
Yeah, closing thoughts. I just it's a game that set me up for 13 years of waiting to be disappointed.
Fuck yeah, let's jeez. Oh god. I almost in a similar fashion, something that like disappointed. Well, then again, it kind of came back. Another game from my childhood, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I fucking like where like the impact that it had on me was definitely just in the way that I was able to bond with my brother over something.
Mhm.
Because definitely like through video games, my brother mainly played sports games, and very rarely we would play maybe like Mario Kart together if I was like lucky. But the one game that seemed to actually like really like get us close together was Tony Hawk. And like from that, like I learned like a lot about like skateboard culture. By the way, I suck at skateboarding. I'm like such a fucking poser. I'm so like into the skateboard scene and like following like pro skaters and like all the tricks and shit like that. But like I fucking die if if I look at a skateboard, I die.
I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah, no,
Like, look at all the people who are like 300 plus pounds sitting on their couch every Sunday watching football.
that's true too.
Like,
Yeah.
they're not going to be the ones going out there and playing. Like, they're not going to go out there and, like, score a touchdown or go out there and start playing basketball and, like, get a slam dunk or whatever. It's like, you can be into it and not be good at it. That's totally fine.
Yeah, all you skateboard gatekeepers out there, lay off me. I just like Tony Hawk. um, but I always like, just in terms of like, it was one of the first games to kind of really make me want to be better, because I didn't really have someone to play fighting games with or anything like that. But my brother was really good at Tony Hawk, and so playing skill-based arcade modes where we have to get higher scores and like learning like how to like chain tricks together using reverts and stuff like that, like really kind of started that drive to be like, oh, like I could be better at this game if I just like dedicate time to it.
Hmm.
And it's just kind of funny that like the earliest game to instill that in me was Tony Hawk, I guess, because I feel like for most people it'd be something like Smash Bros or something, but like definitely figuring out like trick systems and like the best way to like keep balance or use your special, and also not only that, but like finding like secrets to like the map, because like every Tony Hawk, at least I'm thinking Underground 2, that's like my favorite one. In Underground 2, almost all the maps have secret sections that you have to do like crazy tricks to kind of like get access to.
Uh-huh.
And it always blew my mind that like, just discovering this stuff by doing just like funny tricks that you wouldn't even like, think otherwise, or the ways that like it let you kind of just experiment. And no other game, I guess, at that time for me like really did that like Tony Hawk.
Hmm.
And now Tony Hawk is back because they remade 1 and 2, and I pray to God that like a new Tony Hawk is made with that engine, or like something along those lines. I don't want Tony Hawk to just be trapped behind remakes, I guess.
Yeah.
Those games are very, very fun when they know how to just be wacky, let loose, and give into like a lot of the skateboarding culture. Because the shit's fun, man.
Hmm.
It's real fun, and I have so many good memories of bonding with my brother over it.
Yeah, like I know you said you're not good at skateboarding or anything,
Oh hell
but
no.
like when you played Tony Hawk, did it make you want to try actually using like a skateboard, like try getting
Yeah,
good
dude,
at it?
I have 2 skateboards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and like occasionally like I'll put it on the ground and I'll like skate on it, and I'll be like, wow, it's like I could use this thing ish.
Hmm.
Yeah, especially when I was like what's it called, visiting Maya in UCSB. The way I would get around was I would just go on my skateboard. There you go.
Oh,
Take me everywhere. Yeah. So
cool,
like
cool.
I can ride on it, but it's just like definitely not someone that can do like tricks. Thing like that. I just like to wear Vans, okay? Get off.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, hit me with your next one.
So my next one is Smash Bros. Actually, in particular, Smash Bros. Melee.
There we go.
Uh, because I didn't have an N64 growing up.
Hmm.
But yeah, Smash Melee. This was before I was even like remotely thinking about like competition or anything. Like
Yeah.
this was just me like playing it with my cousins and whatnot, and it was just like a game that I remember always going back to. There's nothing too deep in it, just I loved the game a lot.
I mean, yeah, no shame in that. And not only that, but like it clearly has a big impact on you. You're in the fighting game like the fighting game community now.
Yeah, yeah.
It starts somewhere.
Yeah, it was like one, it's so cool to just see all of the Nintendo characters that you've played in different mediums, I guess, or different games, like just in one like super game almost.
Yeah.
And that to me is kind of what really made me interested in it. Like the other fighting games, I guess at the time, like I didn't play a lot of Street Fighter. I didn't play a lot of these other games because I didn't recognize the characters. Like, yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom, I recognize like Spider-Man, and I recognize like
Yeah.
Wolverine and Mega Man to some extent. Like, but
Hmm.
it was like those characters didn't really mean a lot to me because like I wasn't a Marvel Comics fan.
Yeah.
The only Capcom game that I had played was Mega Man, so I didn't even have the greatest grasp of the Capcom like universe yet.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
But Smash Bros was different because it was like I recognize all these characters. That's Yoshi, the dinosaur that I've ridden on. That's Mario and Luigi. That's Link from Legend of Zelda. Like,
You're lying
and
if
there
you say
were
you know if you knew who Ness was.
No, yeah, I was gonna say there were characters I didn't know who they were. Like there was Ness. I didn't know who Ness was. I didn't know who Captain Falcon was.
Hmm.
I didn't know who Samus Aran was because I didn't have a NES or a SNES. Like my first Nintendo console was the GameCube.
Yeah, yeah.
So there were a lot of characters I didn't know. And when Melee came out, like that game is actually what got me to get into the Fire Emblem series.
For a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't know who Marth and Roy are, but I like how they play, and I wonder what game they're from. And they said they were from Fire Emblem, and I was like, I've never heard of that game before. I found out it was Japan only, but I read like a lot about it, and I got very much into Fire Emblem because of that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, totally agree with you in terms of just how the impact that Smash had to like branch out and try things just because you like a character. Because like I fucking love Earthbound now. I had no idea what the hell like was going on. Even in Melee, like Nintendo 64, I never even unlocked Ness. So God forgive me, but like in Melee, I remember, is it Four Side, the stage with like the UFO?
Yeah.
Like that shit freaked me out so much. Like because I was just like, oh no, something so like creepy about it. And then I got in like, I looked up like, what is Earthbound? It has to be this scary game. And then I played it. I'm like, this game is like my fucking sense of humor, like wrapped up in a nutshell. Like I love this so much. And like I wouldn't have even known about it if it wasn't for Smash Bros.
hmm
It was just exceptionally good at doing that.
Yeah, and like the game also had like a really good feel to it.
Oh yeah.
Like just the like one of my favorite things in a game, and this goes to like pretty much every game that I play, is um I love good feeling movement.
Mm-hmm.
If the movement doesn't feel good, I'm generally not going to like the game, and that's something that I'm almost like 100% sure is instilled in me because of Melee.
Interesting.
Like once you get good at Melee and you start wave dashing and everything, and you start using like advanced movement tech, like
Uh-huh.
that game feels good to just move in.
Interesting.
And what like if I can't get a game that gives me good movement, like even if it's like a quote unquote like platform fighter, or like a
Yeah.
Smash like game,
Yeah.
if the game doesn't feel as good as Melee with the movement, then I'm not gonna get interested in it.
That's so interesting because like I feel basically the same way when it comes to movement in games. It's interesting that Melee set that foundation for you to like come up with that.
Yeah, a lot of Melee players actually have like spoken about it because it's just people ask them on their stream like, "Oh, are you gonna try out this game? It's supposed to be like Smash or whatever," and a lot of them are like, "No, because it's not gonna have Melee's physics. It's
Right.
not gonna have Melee's movement, so I'm not gonna like it." Like they can already tell from that.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's just very interesting.
Yeah, so those were the games that I had written down for my childhood or my elementary school days. What about you?
I got one more, and this was the one that I picked that pretty much encompassed, I would say, my entire elementary school era.
I
And
think I know what you're gonna say.
I'd be surprised if you did. It's
Okay,
kind
well
of
maybe not then.
well, it may not be that surprising because like I was kind of mixed between two games. I'm not even like gonna like I'll briefly kind of mention the runner up right now. It was between the certain game and Ocarina of Time.
I was gonna say Ocarina of Time.
The only reason why it's not Ocarina of Time is like it came so close, but because a lot of my childhood was literally just spent in Kokiri Forest, and like it felt so rewarding to actually like figure out there was a whole game and like go through that and actually like experience it that way. That game will always be so special to me. But like the one game that like I can say like I dedicated so much time into is easily Mario 64.
I
Like
see.
it always came down between those two games to me, and Mario 64 just tops it because immediately like I remember days spent exploring like every inch of every world of that game, like looking for anything. Like the minute I found out that like, you know, it's like there are little secrets and like you can go into like, this is stupid of me to not even know this, but like you know, like the world in the mirror room, like you jump into the mirror world. I think it's it's the snow one with the yeah, Snowman Land. Like stuff like that like just made me so curious about everything in that game and like what else it was hidden. And I just don't think anything captured my attention like Mario 64 did in that way of exploring and like uncovering like things that like I didn't know about and challenging myself to get stars that like may be behind complicated platforming challenges, stuff like that. And I mean, I also had like fucking nightmares because of the game, the fucking piano, the eel, like, you know, the common stories. I used to think that Bowser was fucking hiding in the upstairs and like he would jump out and get you because like every time you unlocked a new part of the castle, the fucking like text box would open and his laugh would play. So I thought that meant, I used to think that meant like he was closing in on me.
Oh.
That shit used to terrify me. But definitely also in a similar way with you and Melee and figuring out like game feel, to me like Mario 64 set the standard of what I looked for in like platforming games or even just in gameplay in general. Like it sets such a solid foundation of like I can like my inputs feel one-to-one. Like I feel like nothing is being lost in translation between my button inputs and the character on screen. And like, I mean, nowadays when I play it, I definitely I can't say I feel exactly the same nowadays. I do think Mario 64 has aged a fair bit. But like at the time when like that was all, you know, all I had in terms of like platforming and like I grew up just like running around exploring, like it was gaming. And not only that, it's literally the first video game I ever played. So it's always gonna have that impact on me. But God, I'm so grateful of just the experience it provided and like where it led me in terms of my hobby. Yeah, Mario 64 definitely my overall encompassing game of my elementary school years.
I see. Yeah, I definitely thought you were going to talk about Ocarina of Time, but it's great to hear your thoughts on Mario 64 and why it meant so much to you.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time definitely on like other like I feel like it's a whole other beast, and like I try to keep them as separate as possible because my experience with Ocarina of Time is like, oh, I don't know, like I almost want to say more personal, but like definitely like just because like I didn't even I've had it all my life and then like I didn't beat it till like 8th grade, so like it just, you know, just a whole other experience. Maybe I'll go into some other day.
Yeah.
But yeah. With that, do we want to move into our high school years?
Yeah. So, high school for me was a very different time for gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, like, I'm not sure if you had this same sort of phenomenon, but, like, when you were in middle school, was it almost considered kind of, like, you know, uncool to play video games, or, like, you know, you're, like, people were growing up and they were getting into, like, other stuff or whatever?
In a way, yes. For my experience, it was definitely just more down to the games you played, and I was definitely the one, you know, playing the kiddie Nintendo games, while they're playing, like, Call of Duty kind of thing.
Yeah, no, same. Like, I did not really care about, like, you know, like Assassin's Creed or Halo or whatever. Like, I wasn't into any of those games.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, you know, when I was in high school, it kind of had like a renaissance where you know, playing old games and stuff that were fun like that is cool now.
Yeah.
But so, for me, the first game I'm gonna bring up for my high school like experience is actually Pokemon again, but this time
We literally did the same thing. I didn't bring it up last time, but Pokemon was in my elementary and it's also in my high school.
Yeah, but for me this time, it wasn't just me playing Pokemon like just to have fun. This was me playing Pokemon competitively.
Yeah, I did not have that same experience.
Yeah, I got really into the competitive scene of Pokemon because I played against one of my best friends. and he beat me pretty bad, and then that made me, you know, look into the competitive side of things and actually getting good, and then I got good and beat him, and we went back and forth with this rivalry that we still like have to this day, where he will name his rivals in Pokemon after me if he has the opportunity to name them.
Bro, I feel like everybody's gotta have not God. I don't want to like instate that because there may be people that don't, but it's like I definitely had the same experience with one of my childhood best friend. We both still to this day do that where we name our rivals each other's names.
Hmm.
But definitely never got into the competitive angle.
Yeah, no, I got so into it, like especially when Pokemon X and Y came out.
Hmm.
A lot of people at my school got into Pokemon X and Y because, like, they had the whole kind of like nostalgia factor of like, oh, we're adding, like, you can get the one of the original Kanto starters,
Yeah.
and there's like even mega evolutions for the starters and everything.
Yeah.
Like, it was, and like a lot of people like were getting into it, and like since I was known as like the Pokemon guy in my school, because like I used to wear this Pikachu hat like
Oh,
every
damn.
day. I
Yeah.
used to wear it every day. I wore it in class. I wore it everywhere. um
Just calling attention.
it wasn't even just to call attention, it was just because I love Pikachu and I love Pokemon, and I just wanted to wear it like on my sleeve, you know.
Yeah, right on.
And I remember I would battle a bunch of these people in my high school, and I would just like shit on them all the time, because like I had
Waiting
competitively
for this
bred,
moment.
and yeah, essentially, and like people were just like, dude, why are your Pokemon so good? Like, I don't get it. Like you're always able to attack first, or like these attacks aren't killing you. Like, what's the deal with this? And I was like, oh, if you want a better Pokemon, like I can make one for you. Gotta pay me.
Oh my god, dude. Fucking Pokemon breeder.
Yeah, and that was one of the ways that I made money in high school.
Yeah. And not bad. Good grift. I definitely like I feel like I had the reverse of like your experience with Pokemon in high school.
Uh,
Cause like I had friends alongside me that would play, and like I'd fight them and then they'd kick my ass like without even trying. And I was just like, I just like the game. I didn't try to like reattempt to fight. I was like, I like I'll stick to single player. But I still enjoyed Pokemon. Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, that's probably, it's a perfect evolution of like where you came from Pokemon, then up to like the next era. It's cool to
Yeah.
see that. Well, I guess if you don't have anything more to say about Pokemon.
not particularly. Just I still love Pokemon to this day.
Yeah, same.
Not all I got.
One of the games that I guess I'll start with is because like I guess it's fine, whatever. I don't know why I'm so in my head about it, but Minecraft was definitely one of the biggest games I played in high school.
Hmm.
Or definitely in terms of just like, and I still to this day like I really fucking enjoy Minecraft, just because like for me at the time like I'd never had a game that like had that much freedom to build like what you want and kind of make the game, because like I always loved games that had creative features. Even Tony Hawk had like create a park and stuff like that, so I always spent like hours in games that would have the ability to like make your own this or that. And then when Minecraft came out, it was like the ultimate version of that. And so like I remember building like Zelda dungeons and like doing all these crazy things with like worlds with like my friends from elementary school that didn't come with me to high school. And but like we would still have like a Minecraft world server together and stuff like that.
Oh, that's dope. That's great.
Yeah, like just like so many good memories of that going, because like at the time like running a Minecraft server on your own computer was like kind of difficult. So like there were times where like when it wasn't like you'd have to like go through LogMe and Hamachi and shit like that, like all these like proxy server things. It was so complicated. And when that didn't work, we would go on like faction servers and try to basically like stay together, go off like a million miles away from all the other factions, and then like build underwater, like under the ocean bases so that they won't find us. And every time we got griefed, like that shit, like there's always someone with like a mod that could find you in like 2 seconds. So many, but like we also had like fun experiences where like we had a Mushroom Island to ourselves, and like we built like a whole like kingdom on it. And then like one day, literally like in the distance, there were just like this army of boats coming towards the island, and we all like got up on the wall of like our kingdom, and we were like firing arrows and shit, like trying to fight them off. And of course we lost, and we lost like all of our shit. But like just like memories like that are like so ingrained in like early Minecraft in my mind, and definitely like make up a lot of what I spent my time doing in high school.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that's all I gotta say about Minecraft.
No, that's great. Like, I've never really had like a very fulfilling multiplayer Minecraft experience
Oh.
because I've only recently bought the game and I don't have like
Oh, I
too
see.
many friends who play it.
Yeah.
So like even when I play it on my own, I feel like I'm not like part of me is like I'm not playing it right, I guess.
Yeah, Minecraft is a little weird single player.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's great to hear your experience with it and like just memories like that are always going to be something that you're going to remember.
Yeah, man, because I mean that was literally like back in the day, like it was before Microsoft bought them out, and like it was literally like the day where, you know, it's like, does Herobrine exist? What the fuck is like in this game? Like it felt eerie to be even just like alone for too long in the game world. It's like things like that I do feel like are gone from Minecraft nowadays. At least maybe it's just because I'm older. I don't know. Maybe kids that play now do still kind of get that experience. But definitely
Yeah.
like when I was like in high school playing Minecraft, like it every time I logged in, it felt like I truly didn't know what I was gonna experience this time, and like that was always so exciting from gameplay and like, you know, just it's like kind of experience perspective.
Yeah.
Always be grateful for that. But yeah, that's my closing on Minecraft. I want to hear your next one.
Well, my next one is also another one that I had in my elementary school pick, which is
Oh, let's fucking go.
Melee, but again, getting competitive with it.
Melee this time, getting a little spicy with it.
Well, like I guess it starts first off. It starts with like Brawl. Like I played Brawl competitively a little bit. Like nowhere near as much as I got into it with Melee, but I was very much like a competitive person growing up,
Yeah.
and I'm never gonna forget when my in my high school in my freshman year I was part of the video game club. We called it the Press Start Club.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
And we, in my high school, we had a special, like, Halloween event. It was called the Harvest Festival, and like during the Friday that like Halloween was, pretty much, we would have it set up so that all of the clubs had an opportunity to field raise. Like we would have like a minimum day, or maybe not minimum day. I don't remember. I think it was a minimum day
Hmm.
where like during like the last 3 hours of the day, pretty much um all of the clubs got to like essentially rent out a room from one of the teachers,
Oh, that's so cool.
and you would have your own little like fundraising stall.
That's so cool.
And like, people did different things. Some people like did like bake sales or food sales or whatever. Like some
Yeah.
people had like, like little
Basic
carnival
shit.
games.
Yeah.
The Press Start Club, we made our own arcade by bringing consoles from home and borrowing a bunch of TVs from a bunch of different teachers.
Bro, that's so cool.
And they asked like, "Oh, who wants to be in charge of like Smash Bros. Brawl?" And I was like, "Shit, I'll do it," because like no one else seemed particularly interested in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, so I brought my Wii from home. I brought Brawl, and like I had it set at 25 cents a play.
Hmm.
It was like 1v1, so like kind of like classic arcade, like one-on-one.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the rule was like if you win, you stay on. If not, like you can get back in the back of the line.
Yeah, yeah.
And I essentially kind of ran the thing for like the whole day, and I was just kind of beating people left and right. There was just this one dude who actually played Brawl competitively that like kind of mopped the floor with me playing Lucas.
Damn. Lucas mate.
But everyone else, I was pretty much kind of dominating the whole time, which maybe like because like I'm sure you're well aware of like everyone's thinking like they're good at Smash Bros until they fight someone who's good at Smash Bros.
Yeah.
And so like that was kind of where I was at, where I was like, I thought I was good, and the fact that I beat like most of my friends in school like kind of proved to me like, oh, you know what, maybe I am pretty good at this.
Gave you the confidence to push on.
Yeah, and then later in my school life, I want to say probably during my my junior year, my school had a Smash Melee tournament. Like I think it was the ASB, the Associated Student Body, that put it on. And I entered, and oh no, it wasn't them. They did have one, but I didn't enter that one. Instead like my anime club, we just made our own Smash tournament just for shits and giggles, kind of.
Yeah.
And I won, and so like I had a pretty big head, and then this one guy that was my friend, he was a year older than me. He heard I was good at Smash, challenged me to play against him, and this guy was like actually like a competitive Melee player, and he destroyed me. Like he just like completely wiped the floor with me. And rather than being like like salty or anything, the first thing I asked him was like, teach me how to play like that.
That's the best thing you can do, really.
Yeah, I was like straight up like, I want to learn how to play like that. Like how do I play like that? Teach me. And that got me into competitive Melee, which led me to finding out about like Project M and getting my cousins into it, and we started playing games together every weekend. Like we would play from like Friday or Saturday. No, we would play like probably like Saturday from like 6 p.m. or I will say like 7 or 8 p.m. until like Sunday 6 a.m. Like we would just play games like the whole night.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was like a little mini LAN party every weekend, because like we would start off playing Smash, Project M, and then we would start playing other stuff. Like we would start playing like League or something, and then when Pokemon came out, we were all like making Pokemon teams and everything.
Right.
Yeah, and like, so yeah, to me, Smash Melee competitive is like a huge part of my high school sort of gaming life.
Yeah, man. Totally. It's like, because what's it called? Well, first off, I want to point out, like, first time I ever felt like a fucking hacker was installing Project M on my Wii. Like, do you have that same feeling when you had to do that?
The thing was, I didn't even do it. My cousin was the one who did it, because like I was like too worried that I would like break my Wii or something.
Oh damn! I remember following old like YouTube tutorials with like Windows Movie Maker, like blue background, white text.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god! Like I'm like Nintendo's they would hate me right now if they saw me doing this.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Like I was just worried. I was like, oh dude, like if I mess up, like what if I break my Wii or something?
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. No, it's same. I mean, honestly, like, I put Melee in my high school also, for my high school era. Because, definitely, kind of in the same way, I wouldn't say, like, there was a competitive scene at my school, but one of my friends, I really bonded with him because he was, like, very into the competitive Melee scene. And, I think it was around the time Smash 4 came out. Basically our entire improv club, because I did improv all my high school career, and that's kind of like where my social circle was. And so whenever we had big improv practices, we would basically spend the night at like each other's houses and like set up, just we play improv games, try and like work on material, try and like build camaraderie. But then when that shit was done, it was Smash Bros time, and then it's 8-player Smash. Like, no, like, holds bar. But then, like, as you know, basically the way it would go was that there was like a core group of about like 4 or 5 of us that would actually stay the full overnight, and the rest of the team would like leave kind of around maybe like 6 p.m. And once like once the normies left, that's when it became like actual get good mode of like playing Smash Bros. And then from there, because one of my friends, I took him home, drove him there, and I would take him home all the time. And it was through him that he like let me know that like, oh yeah, he used to play Melee competitively. And I was like, oh, like I have Melee, and like I've always like wondered like what it would be like to be really good at it. And so from there, he's like, oh yeah, I'll teach you, and he became like my coach. And it was like kind of my first glimpse of what the esport like actual like fighting game community scene was like my first actual firsthand experience. And like literally it all began with one day, we're driving along, because all I had was like a little flat screen, like a small little flat screen in my room. And and when I took him over to my house and we were playing Melee, he was like so mad to be playing on that. Like he kept, like we kept talking about, he's like, the delay on this game is unplayable, and like it's like I had no idea what he was talking about. I'm like, oh no, this is just how it is. There's like no input lag. I don't know what you're talking about. We then got in my car and we drove around the block and like around my neighborhood, and we just like happened to find like a CRT on the side of the road, and we picked it up. We brought it back to my house. We put it in, and like the colors were all fucked up, but the game ran so fucking good.
Yeah.
And like it was like that moment of like going from there to there that like I understood completely that like this game cannot be played on flat screen just like through running through some like basic RG, like what what I mean, like the AV cables.
Yeah.
It had to be on CRT.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just and like uncovering that, and then like playing him over and over again, and like not only that, but like because the atmosphere with the tryhard Smash Bros with Smash 4 was sometimes border on a little bit toxic, but like playing with him where he was like very much in like the competitive scene, he knew, like he was teaching me wave dashing and like all this shit, and like. But like our atmosphere was more like we're just cracking jokes the whole time. He may be kicking my ass, but like I'll start getting like closer in games, but we're still just like having a good time and like bouncing off each other and getting notes. And like it's like these days that like I think of like playing Melee like that, and like just picking up random CRTs off the side of the road and then like putting them back on the side of the road when we're done, because like they're pretty dirty and kind of like not good to keep in the house.
Yeah, I definitely feel that.
But like just those days of like doing that like definitely define like a lot of like my the moment where I took esports seriously, because like cringe TJ take from the past, but I was like, no, video games aren't sports. No, they're just fun. They're little entertainment things. Like definitely ancient cringe TJ takes. But like playing Melee in high school on like with my friend definitely made me realize like, no, like this takes more than just like mashing buttons.
Yeah,
Brain games.
a big thing that helped me like kind of really appreciate esports. I'm sure you've seen it, the Melee documentary.
Literally, that was my first homework with him as my coach.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me, like watching that.
Good job, Mango. He's back, baby.
Oh my god, if anyone wants to see like the peak of Melee right now, the Smash Summit Olympic Grand Finals.
It was fucking crazy.
It's the most insane gameplay, like Smash gameplay, that I've seen in such a long time. Like a lot of people are even calling it like the best
fucking physics. I've never seen Fox fucking do that. Fucking.
It was so insane.
I lost my fucking mind.
But yeah, the Melee documentary really helped me appreciate esports a lot more.
Yeah.
To the point where, for me, it was like, how would I put it? Like, because I was also following like the LCS, the League of Legends Championship Series,
Mm-hmm.
and for me, it's like I can kind of see why they do it because they're making hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of dollars
Yeah,
off
yeah.
of playing League of Legends at a high level. Melee recently had its biggest prize pool of all time, and that was only $45,000.
That ultimately just comes down to Nintendo.
It's Nintendo, but it's also it proves the love of the players.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like, in particular, like there was a graphic. I need to find it, but somebody compared uh the comparison of all of the Evo pots uh um all of the Evo winnings for like the past, like I think 12 years is still like not even like breaking like the bare limit uh of other esports and their prize pools.
Jeez.
Because let me see, where is it here? I really want to find it because it just put into perspective how much fighting games make, or how much fighting game players make in comparison to every other esport.
Hmm.
Because it's like fighting game players do not make a lot of money. Like
Yeah.
fighting games is like the poverty games of esports, if we're being real.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like I don't even like I don't know if this is even necessarily true, but like because definitely when ESPN like started covering esports and like back in the early like time of that happening and like I remember seeing like it was Overwatch like replays or like it was a lot of FPS, a lot of but like rarely ever fighting games. Like I always wondered if it was maybe just because like is it harder for people to understand like what good fighting game like playing is compared to like if you watch someone play an FPS? Like I never really understood.
I think it's because there's a very common misconception that if you mash harder, you'll be better at at fighting games.
But that's such like a bullshit stigma. Like because I will admit like I definitely was before I was enlightened by my coach. Like I was kind of in that camp.
Yeah, it's something that a lot of people think. It's also like, uh, I think a big reason for it is because, uh, what was it? Um, a big reason for it is also because people want to have an excuse for when they lose.
Hmm. Yeah, that's also true.
And I would say that, like, FPS games and like MOBA games and whatnot, since they're built upon teams,
Mhm.
it's it's easier for a traditional sports fan to kind of get into it because there's a whole team that they're watching, as
That's
opposed to
true.
just one-on-one fights.
That's true. Yeah, I could see that. Did you find that graphic yet?
Not yet.
Ah, dang. Yeah, I'm trying to like think back because like it just I just remembered like the only time because I was trying to learn Falco and like he taught me like Falco's fucking what is it, his down air meteor.
Yeah.
Yeah, like like figuring that shit out like blew my fucking mind. And like I remember the first time I ever took a stock off him doing that, I was like, this shit's possible. Like anything's possible now. But like I don't know that like I'll always just look back fondly on like we would go out and like just try like terrible pizza places, get like trash food that we could find close by, and then like rush back home and like keep training, keep playing. It was really only for us too because like we never went to any tournaments or like no one else in like our like circle ever played Melee. But still, it's just like it was always just fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the feeling that you're describing is the entire reason why I love helping people get better and building like little communities.
Oh yeah, totally.
While I look for that graphic, you wanna bring up your next game
Yeah,
though?
I will do that. This one is kind of like I kind of had a few. I'm gonna brush by like two because I'm not gonna go like too much in detail. I have like one that is overall encompassing. Two that are my kind of runner-ups are Halo, just because I just custom games in Halo were like just so creative and so fun. I have so many fond memories of just a lot of like LAN party game nights with friends playing Halo 3. And so I couldn't not mention that. The other thing was Devil May Cry, because that was like the evolution of I thought Sonic was cool, and then and then I played Devil May Cry. I was like, this is even fucking cooler.
Yeah.
But my one game that I would say encompassed my high school era, and this is a little bit cheating because I would say this was like my senior year of high school that I played this. But it just kind of felt like the perfect lid on top of everything because it was a game that I very much related to, and I felt like kind of spoke to a lot of the things I was feeling at the time, and that is Persona 5. Definitely, I mean, the meme, of course, of Persona 5 is like the damn adults, or like shitty adults. And like, really, like, I was going through a time in high school where like I almost didn't graduate due to like this bullshit teacher that like literally ran a class that just, it wasn't like, I don't want to like fucking start, I guess, but like everybody in the class basically had to cheat in order to pass it, and I just didn't want to cheat, and so I didn't, and then I ended up failing. I had them for 2 classes back to back, and no one else had that. I was the only person to do that, and I felt like really screwed over, and I tried my best, but like doing a 150 question fill in the blank test with no word bank is fucking hard.
Yeah, that's... Oof.
He claimed that that's like what you're gonna see in college, and I've so far not experienced that. As a matter of fact, everything is fucking multiple choice on a Scantron. So yeah. I don't know where this fucking, like, I'm not even like, it sounds like hyperbole, but literally all of his study guides were just terms. Like, they would basically be the word bank with nothing, like, handwritten with no like definition of what they are. We had to figure that out. But then when you take the test, like, since there's no solid definition set, the like terms basic, like, there's no way to really like make sure, like, you needed to like know any sort of different wording of what the like definition of this term is, and there's 150 of them that you need to have memorized. And dude, like, I do theater, like I memorize scripts, and I can't fucking memorize like that term sheet. I tried so hard, but yeah. Anyway, like it was at a point in my life where I felt like so screwed over and felt like things were like stacked against me. And like when I played Persona, it kind of like gave me that like almost like therapy I needed at that time. Not like literal therapy, but just in terms of like I had all this frustration with like, yeah, this shit's so unfair. I hate like being treated like this, and how everything feels like is so important right now. And I had to take like online walking and online bowling, but online bowling was like charging me like so much money that I had to drop that. And then I was off 0.5 of a credit from graduation, and they were really gonna like hold me back for that. It was just bizarre things that just made me feel like everything had like no meaning. But in like Persona, it's like they kind of let me have that fantasy of like, oh well, like I can fight back against the system, and like kind of point out like the injustices that are served and stuff like that. And like I really related to like Ryuji and like characters like that, and like these feelings. It was like the first time I like played a game, and like the narrative immediately, I just like, I wanted to cry. I was like, this is like, I feel this on another fucking level. And I mean, to this day, like I love Persona 5 so much. It's gotten me into the whole franchise. And I mean, I'm literally like looking to the left. I have my framed artwork of I guess depending on what you name the main character. If the canon's Akira, I don't know. I hear so many different things. There's also Ren, but
there's technically like 2. It's Akira or Ren.
Yeah, Akira or Ren. It's Ren and Ryuji, and they're eating ramen, and I'm like, that's like my feel good place in that game. I was like, this is It definitely encompasses a lot of the hardest stuff I had to go through in high school, and Persona was a game that I always felt was like there for me, and like helped me kind of understand that like, hey, it's like stuff is like always within my control, and like I can find my way out of it.
Hmm.
Yeah, so easily for me, my overall encompassing for high school, definitely Persona 5. I definitely just like the me getting that game was so weird because I went just to book off one day on a whim with like friends, and I was just going down PS4 games and they had the Steelbook edition, and I just picked it up, and like, it's full price still. It didn't really like go down. It wasn't like cheaper. But like looking at the art style and like this, just like the red, something about the red metal like box, I was just like, this game is something special. And I just picked it up without knowing anything. I was like, I'm just picking it up because I just like how this looks.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely like just bizarre of how much I connected with it. So Persona 5 is always going to be one of those like games that's just really, really special to me. Excuse me.
So I found the graphic that I was trying to look for before, but it's like in a YouTube video of like, which is a VOD of somebody's stream.
Oh god.
So bear with me. So there's gonna be some Twitch chat on the left side of it.
Oh
But
great. Oh nice. Oh
but
oh.
as you can see on that graphic, uh, lifetime of Evo from 1996 to 2019, the total amount of prize pool that they gave out was 1.8 million dollars, which it sounds like a lot. That's a lot of money, but that's not given out at one time. That's over the course of quite literally 23 years.
Yeah, that's also something a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah. Whereas you have like, for example, 2 years ago, the Fortnite World Cup finals, the winner got $15.3 million.
Jesus.
So like fighting games are quite literally like the most poverty of esports.
That's
So we play them not because of the money, we play them because we love them.
I always think that's like, I guess it's just because I'm more familiar with the fighting game community than I am with any of the other like esport communities.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's just when I see like this in comparison, like it's definitely like crazy to me because to me like I don't know, like fighting games and this isn't even like saying fighting games are better. It's just like I don't know, I've just been so connected to the fighting game community and seeing like how passionate they are, and it kind of warms my heart in a way that like it doesn't need like the biggest like prize pools to draw like a lot of just amazing like gameplay and like amazing just performances, man.
Yep.
Ugh,
That's all I wanted to bring up. Just that. Just
yeah.
for people who think that fighting games, like people who play fighting games, are in it for the money or anything. It's like quite literally the opposite.
Yeah, no, it's straight up passion. I mean, what's more fitting for like a fighting game community than for like passion to be one of the main driving like forces?
Yeah.
I love it, genuinely. But yeah. So, did you have any more of them or?
Yeah, yeah. A big one for me at this time, like ironically enough, was actually Call of Duty.
Oh damn! I technically should have put Call of Duty down, but like, I don't know why I didn't.
For me, it was I had a lot of friends who just played Call of Duty, and like they were really good. Like one of my friends actually got like scouted by like a an MLG team at one
Oh
point.
shit!
Yeah, like I had a lot of friends who were really good at it, and it wasn't exactly my thing, but like I kind of just like played it one because like it was kind of fun, you know, like
Yeah,
it's not exactly my cup of tea, but it was fun to just like play and like not really care about like, you know, like my KD or whatever. Like I'm just like playing to
right,
have fun.
right.
Uh, and it was just something that I remember spending like a lot of my like free time on.
Well, yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah, I just put it in there because it's just like, even though I'm not into like COD at all now, like I'm not even like remotely into it now. Like just
Mhm.
at the time, it was definitely like it was something I played a lot of.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I like said I didn't play. Like, I bought CODs like from Modern Warfare 2 through like I think Black Ops 2 was maybe where I like kind of cut off from COD.
Oh, hey, it's exactly the same for me.
Yeah. That was definitely my era of COD.
Yeah.
Damn, it's actually really funny. We're in the same for that.
And then aside from that, just because like I just wanted to throw that in there, just because it's just like I did play COD, and I don't want people to think like I didn't.
Oh yeah, no, we're not like trashing on COD or anything like that at all.
Yeah. Then uh, I played a lot of Monster Hunter during this time.
I was wondering when this was gonna come up.
It was something that I got into like quite literally like at the very tail end of middle school,
Mm-hmm.
and uh once I got into it, I started playing the older games and I started getting like into the newer releases and trying to get everyone that I knew into it. So, like just for me, Monster Hunter, huge part of my life, especially like I've already brought this up multiple times, but just the hunting lounge at at that one anime expo
So
was
jealous.
to me just the best
It
because I
sounds
just got to
so
play Monster
cool.
Hunter with a bunch of strangers and everyone was just like, "Oh, let's hunt this, let's do this, let's go for this one."
Mm-hmm. So jealous. I wish I could have gone to that.
Yeah, but
With
I've spent many a podcast time talking about how much I love Monster Hunter. So I guess the last one I'm
no,
gonna bring up is it's again another game I've talked about, which is League of Legends.
that's fuck. Oh no.
Because I got into League of Legends because a friend of mine was very much into it to the point where I think I brought it up before, where he was like he is like an ex pro of League of Legends. Like he was on the team Counter Logic Gaming at one point.
Hmm.
He is the one that got me into it, and at first I wasn't a very big fan of it, and then I started playing it more and more, and like when you pop off, it feels pretty good.
You gotta click the move, Tyus. What is this, King's Quest? What the fuck is this? Wast, baby. It's right there.
Well, you see, since I didn't play a lot of PC games, Lost wasn't like a thing that I was used to.
No. God damn, a good argument.
For me, it was like right clicking to move is the thing I'm used to. Like actually, like it's really funny because when I when I was taking like a break from League of Legends and I was playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14, I tried using Wasp to move and I accidentally used one of my summoner spells, which those things have like a 5-minute cooldown.
Oh my god.
I used it on accident at the very start of the game and I was like, oh shit.
No. I feel like they do that deliberately. They put it like right there on like what you would like muscle memory want to move with. Come on.
But yeah, those are the games that I would say like were kind of the ones that I played the most in high school.
Yeah, man. It's funny to see the overlap. And also definitely like where like cuz like we could both have like very similar picks for that and have two totally different experiences.
Yeah, like with Pokemon, for example, or even
For sure.
with Melee, where like yes, you were getting more into the competitive thing of it, but like I got like way
You were
deep.
actually, but yeah, you were actually like playing other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, man. Then we matured and we became adults. Bum bum. And how has gaming affected us now? Where are we today?
I don't know. Do you want to start off? I could start off.
I want to hear one from you.
All right. Well, one for me is again another game that I've spent many a podcast talking about. Final Fantasy XIV Online Edition of Realm Reborn, featuring the critically acclaimed expansion Heavensward for free, up to level 60.
Oh yeah, that's definitely on my list too. But I want to hear your reasons first.
It's eh, Final Fantasy XIV for me is special in a lot of ways.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
in particular, it's the reason why my girlfriend and I are together.
Yep.
It's also kind of like I played a few other MMOs growing up. Not too many, Like I never played RuneScape, which I know is like a really big one for a lot of
Missed
people.
out, bro. Missed out.
Yeah, I played MapleStory though, but then they had an update for MapleStory that kind of made me not like it.
I think it made everyone not like it.
There was also another one by Nexon called Vindictus, which I played only a little bit. I wasn't super into that one.
Ooh, I never.
And then I started playing Final Fantasy XIV at one point, and it didn't immediately hook me.
Mm-hmm.
But then a friend of mine was trying to get together with the girl who is now currently my girlfriend.
Hey.
And
oh no.
him and my other friend were trying to plan a way to like get them to play, like to have more things in common. So this friend started playing Final Fantasy 14, and like they knew that I had a 14 account, but I wasn't really using it. And they're like, "Oh, you should play too, so that way we can have an excuse to like all party up together and whatnot." And I was like,
This is Mr. Steal Your Girl, apparently. Jeez.
I was like, "Oh, you know what? For my friend, I'll do it. Like even if like I wasn't the biggest fan of it when I first played, you know what? I'll get it. I'll give it a shot." And then as I explained before, my girlfriend and I and like a few other friends, we role play in game too.
Mm-hmm.
And so like literally the night before, or no, the day of the night that I made my character, my friend who I worked with, you know him, Tiny.
Hey, I do know him.
He asked me, "Hey, can you make your character like a really buff cat boy?" And like make him as Chad as possible. Were his exact words.
Oh my
Like,
god.
because like I was planning on making like an Aura girl, because I like playing as girls in video games.
Mm-hmm.
But like he said it's for the meme, and I was like, oh, if it's for the meme, I'll do it. Like no questions asked. Because like my friend Tiny, he was role playing like with my girlfriend, who wasn't my girlfriend at the time, and my other friend. And, like his character had a crush on her character, but like she disguised it by saying like no, she liked another like Mikote dude, and like my girlfriend's Mikote, his name is Rain, with an E at the end.
Yeah.
And so, like, when he asked my friend's character, like, "Oh, well, like, what's this guy's name?" She was just like, Storm."
Oh
so,
my god! Is that why your character's name?
Yeah, that's 100% why my character's name is Storm.
Nice. Oh my god! I didn't know that.
Because like the meme was like this was just gonna be like a chat, like an imaginary Chad version of Rain, and then like obviously my girlfriend didn't expect me to actually make this character like a reality.
Oh my god, dude.
And so like I made it, but instead of making him like like a stereotypical like I guess like jock in like a movie or whatever, like he was like actually like kind-hearted and whatnot.
That's my preferable stereotype of like the jock that's actually like really nice.
Yeah, it's like you know the memes of like the really buff dudes on computers, like with like the one like really scrawny dude on a computer like talking about something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that was like what I had in mind.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And like it was just through that I like my girlfriend and I started interacting a lot more, just like through RPing, and we would talk like outside of game and stuff like that. And we just got really close together to the point where even my friend who was like trying to get with her even said like, oh well, it's like clear that she has feelings for you, not me. So it's like well, who am I to like keep going for that?
Right? Yeah. No. Bro code, buddy. Bro code.
Look, I 100% had no intention of trying to steal.
Dude, you don't have to defend it. I think it's a sweet story.
Yeah, like I want to make that clear. I did this with the intention of helping a bro out.
Oh
It just
yeah,
happened that, one thing led to another.
yeah. It's just it's how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah. But
Like,
aside from that, like the story for Final Fantasy 14 is just so good. Um the community is super positive,
is.
and like even recently getting into like high-end rating and everything, like
Mhm.
it's so rewarding. It's like a mix of like a puzzle game, like an action game, like almost kind of like improving if something goes wrong and whatnot. Like
Yeah.
the feeling of high-end rating with a group and like communicating and talking about everything, it's so fulfilling for me.
Yeah, especially when one of the party members likes to jump into the fucking blue border that kills you in one hit because he doesn't know how to fucking read. Everyone loves that.
That was funny.
God damn, dude. I was a
Yeah.
healer. I can't be doing that.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 14 has consumed my life, and it's my personal goal in life to get everybody I know into it,
Well,
as
I
you're well aware.
I was about to say, I guess transitioning, yeah, literally accomplishing that goal because Final Fantasy 14 is now consuming my life because fucking Dice. Like, how do I even begin? Because I used to play RuneScape a bit. I was never really good at it. I was just kind of like, I thought it was neat that all these people were real, and it was like kind of a fun little game that could run in like the browser, my computer.
Mhm.
And then like, all my friends played Toontown, but my parents would never let me do it because it was a paid subscription, and obviously like I don't have the money to do that. So I always had, like, heard that was fun. Club Penguin was something I just never really got into. These are basically just like social MMOs. Uh, and then the closest I ever came to trying to really like get into an MMO was probably Eden Eternal, and that didn't last very long either. And I was kind of at a point where like I just didn't really like think that there was like anything like gripping about an MMO. I thought it was just kind of a gimmick of, it's a lot of people all in the world, but everything's very just kind of basic and recyclable, not really there to like leave an impact on you other than what you do with other people. And
Mhm.
then I started working at Curry House and met my friend here, Tyus. And
No,
every
the other way
fucking
around. I started working at Curry House.
no, I was working there first.
Yeah, that's why I started working. You
Oh,
didn't know about it
okay.
until I started working there.
Sorry, yeah, wait. Tice is right. Tice is right. And then, on every fucking shift, Tice just won't shut up about Final Fantasy 14. And he keeps like the thing is that like he would start like saying these things, and I'm like, that what he is describing is not an MMO. Like, I've played MMOs. You don't get to have that much like personality. You don't get to actually become enveloped in a story. You don't get to have like housing that you can actually like tweak to like be exactly how you want it. Like, no. These things
I
don't
remember
exist.
I remember how surprised you were when I showed you that someone made like an actual 7-Eleven in Final Fantasy
Yeah.
14.
Cuz I'm like MMOs are just like, at that point in my mind I'm like, these are just like basically scams by businesses to lock you into a subscription to like be in a basic like loop of gameplay. Like, that's all an MMO is. I was very doomer pilled on the MMO genre. And then Tice is like, no, man, like, there's a game, and not only that, it's like one of the best JRPGs, ever written. I'm like, that everything that you're selling to me right now cannot be true. And then I tried the fucking the free trial meme. I had my character who was a Lalafell, and yeah, turns out he was fucking right. And then next thing I knew, I started converting people to the game. And then I brought my girlfriend into it, Maya. And
I'm never gonna forget like how excited you were when you started playing it, and you were telling me you were enjoying like the base ARR stuff, and I'm like, damn, that's like the low point of the game too.
like, that's the thing, is just that like, even like, was reading the dialogue. I never fucking read dialogue and shit unless it's like Persona 5. Even in like I'm still guilty in a lot of RPGs of just kind of like I end up skimming if it's a lot. But like in Final Fantasy 14, I'm like, wait, someone wrote this with the intention of like, you know, like they cared about it. Like I could tell in the way that like stuff was being planted. And yeah, dude, I totally argue that like I think A Realm Reborn, a lot of people like to say like just kind of get through A Realm Reborn and then it gets good. There is shit that is like set up in A Realm Reborn that I feel like you would have a lesser experience playing Heaven's Word if you weren't paying attention.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, A Realm Reborn sets up everything past it. Like that's the whole point of it being the base game.
Yeah, the moment, like, I will admit, like, the moment the game really sunk its, like, teeth into me was in the patches after Realm Reborn. But, like, it's only because I cared during a Realm Reborn that, like, I was immediately, like, my life was snatched away from me by this fucking game.
I can't wait until you get into Shadowbringers and you get through that story.
Yeah. I'm currently in the patches between Stormblood and Shadowbringers, so I'm getting there.
Yeah, you're literally almost at the best part of the game.
Maya is ahead of me. Right now we're trying to farm the what's it called? The Rathalos mount. It's kind of what we're trying to
Good luck.
on. Yeah, it's so fucking annoying. It's so fun.
You can farm the scales to get it.
Yeah, that's basically what we're going through. And like yeah, I never really like, cuz you know, to me anything with a subscription base I never wanted to do because it just always sounded like a trap. I never felt like I actually owned this game or anything like that, but like this game fucking changed my opinion so quick. I immediately, like, we talked about this I think during our Final Fantasy 14 event podcast, but every time I'm paying my subscription, like, I know that it's going towards a team that cares about what they're doing. It's going back towards the community in ways of content and like anything to keep this game like going stronger. Like I'm happy to like contribute to that. And it's just there's no other game that like change like like I'm not even kidding, like just completely changed the way I think about like this genre. Like Final Fantasy 14, and I know it's like kind of obviously like the popular thing right now is to praise Final Fantasy 14 just because of all the WoW refugees currently coming over, but like I mean yeah man, the community has always been so welcoming. Every time I've fucking just like been trashed because I'm learning to tank with Dark Knight right now, and I'm Garbo. I'm so bad, but like God damn, dude. Every time, you know, we may wipe and I just, you know, I get those words of encouragement in the chat. I'm like, damn, man, like, it's gonna be okay. Like, I don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's such a unique experience that, like, I've never had in a game. It's just, like, being able to see, like, these worlds and, like, you know, one day I'll just be walking around the hub area of my starting country and then someone just puts in the shout like, hey, we're having a fucking fight club over at this like residential plot. And you know, I go over and sure enough, there's like bouncers, they escort me down the stairs. Downstairs there's a cage match where people are fucking fighting and a Lalafell comes up to me, tugs on my fucking shirt and says, do you want to buy some meth?
Yeah, that sounds alright.
I say yes and he gives me some sugar. God, dude, like this game continues to blow me away. Like every day I log in, it's easily, and also just it's just so fun to play with like Maya and like see like how we like can strategize with each other, stuff like that, and like especially because like I know Maya had no experience with an MMO going into this, and like seeing her basically because like she's ahead of me now. Like, I'm now in the dust, and I at least had, like, some experience, but she's, like, ahead of me in MSQ, and, like, in terms of just, like, knowing the dungeons and shit like that, so it's been such an interesting experience.
I remember when you told me that Maya was starting to have dreams of Final Fantasy 14.
That's usually when we can tell, like, if Maya likes a game, it'll be because, like, in her dream she's playing it.
And then I also remember the text that I got from her when she experienced her first maintenance.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I didn't have her number at the time. I think you gave her my
Yeah.
number. And so I just got this. I need to find it because like
It's so
still
good.
the text still makes me laugh to this day.
I was like, because I know exactly what the words were. I know exactly what she said.
I need to find it because it's I got a text like out of nowhere at 3:14 p.m.
I just did not know her number.
It was, I hate you. For preface, you have aided in my addiction, which I am yet I am cursed with this wretched maintenance day, which seems to be endless. And I was like, who is this? And then she responded, you know who this is. My boyfriend that's dooming me as well.
Oh my god, she like after like writing that, she's like, do you think like he's gonna think I'm gonna kill him? Like, does she know? Is this a good idea? I'm like, yes, please. Oh my god.
And I was just like, I was like, I legit have made an enemy of somebody and I don't even know what happened.
Oh, speaking of, fuck, maintenance today.
Yeah, maintenance tonight.
Fuck, it's like right when I get off work too.
Yeah, it's like from 6 to 3 in the morning, I think.
Oh, this fucking sucks. Ugh. But yeah, no, dude, like, I just was dying. So badly, your reaction to it, you're just like, who is this? Oh my god. Yeah, dude, Final Fantasy 14, easily one of the biggest things in my my adulthood right now. Play it every day except for today. God damn it.
Yeah.
Anyway, hit me with your next.
My next game would probably have to be like, this is more of just like I guess like a collection of things, and that's like, I guess more traditional fighting games.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, at least when I started, I was never a fan of traditional fighting games. Like I was a Smash player and I loved the way Smash felt because you know, combos weren't like a set thing. It was like if you DI correctly, you can get out of combos. If you play well, you can not get hit. Like when you're comboing, you have to read how the other person wants to get out of it, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So for me, like that was like the peak of fighting games.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got into more traditional fighting games, and I just kept playing them, and like I've just fallen in love with so many, and building communities and helping people get better.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's the one thing I know about you is just, yeah, you mentioned it earlier, just the rotating fighting games that come in.
Yeah, it's a very big time sink for me, but it's also one that feels really rewarding just because you get to like actually see you get to see the results of like growth very quickly.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I experienced that when we were playing Smash Bros.
Yeah, and again, like seeing you improve and the joy you had in improving and the joy that like you had in starting to understand more concepts and everything. Like that's the stuff that I love to do. Like I love seeing people get to that point.
Yeah, totally.
But I guess another one that I have is just like roguelikes as a whole.
Oh my god.
Because since getting into like more like gaming and whatnot, like roguelikes have consumed so much of my free time.
Damn, dude.
Like Enter the Gungeon,
That's
Hades.
on my list.
Oh, dude, Enter the Gungeon's so good.
It's so
Hades,
fucking good.
Slay the Spire, which is a card-based deck building roguelike game. There's this other one that I started playing recently called Gunfire Reborn, which is a dungeon crawling first person shooter where you play as animals that have different like mythological powers.
Whoa, what?
Yeah. It's like in beta right now. Let me send you a link to it
Yeah, actually, because I want to check that out. That sounds
because
cool.
there's even up to 4-player multiplayer too.
Oh, what? That's so cool. What the fuck?
Yeah, this game pretty good if I do say so myself.
I already like the art style.
Yeah, it's got like a very kind of like I would almost like liken it to like kind of
Oh,
um
this looks
like
so good. What the fuck?
polygon art like old like PlayStation like art style.
Yeah, dude. I totally. I gotta get this game. Holy shit.
It's pretty cheap, but it's really good for the price.
That's so cool.
But yeah, like I've roguelikes as like as an entire genre has become something that is very like very much become like one of my favorite things to play.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, yeah. I definitely kind of touching upon that, like because I do have Enter the Gungeon on my list. It's just interesting because like I got into Enter the Gungeon just because I saw it was like a top-down shooter, and like I do like top-down shooters like Smash TV or Robotron 64 if I'm getting like really far back. But like I assumed it was just gonna be like a simple like twin stick shooter, and then like when I died and I put me back at the beginning, I was like really confused. I'm like, wait, so there's like no progression and everything's different now, and basically I had to learn what a roguelike was like on the go through that game, and yeah, definitely opened my eyes to the whole genre.
Yeah, it's like um this one YouTuber I follow, Game Maker's Toolkit.
Oh yeah, I know him.
He put out a video on roguelikes. I think it was like a year ago, 2 years ago, maybe even 3 years at this point.
Hmm.
Um, he said that like in his mind, uh, roguelikes are the um the ultimate form of skill-based gaming
Mm, I can see that.
because like the how far you get is entirely dependent on how good you are.
Mm,
Like
yeah,
there's no like grinding or anything. You can't grind in a rogue. Like it's literally just can you get past this?
yeah. And like honestly, it's never because like I was gonna say I think the thing I've always really liked about the genre has been the because like I used to really like playing simple like arcade games like the basic like Namco like games. Galaga is one of my favorite games of all time. But like I think what initially got me into it was that arcade feel of like this run is gonna be the one that's like I gotta like be better than my last. But not only that, but like the game doesn't like baby you or handicap you, and it's never like unfair, like it's trying to eat your quarters. Like you have all the skill right there to like overcome what like where you went wrong in the last run. And
Mm-hmm.
it's always like figuring out how to like get over that is so rewarding.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, dude, I'm right there with you on that.
Yeah. So aside from Enter the Gungeon, what's on your what else is on your list? Because I feel like I've been rambling for a long time.
You could. Um, well, I mean, I kind of mentioned it. I feel like I kind of mentioned it earlier, but Resident Evil is now definitely something I'd say now piqued my interest. And I gotta say, like, I'm starting to become a little bit looking into more horror games to get into, which
Mhm.
I'm both kind of like hating and loving. Because the main thing, because like I always knew Resident Evil as a kid, like I knew the series existed, and like I think my first experience ever seeing anything Resident Evil related was a friend who had the PlayStation 1 first game, and like being like absolutely just fucking terrified at like just like the sound effects and like the ambience. Like I don't even think I even saw a zombie. Just like everything about that game. Like if being in Mario 64 Castle like scared me, just seeing the mansion in Resident Evil was enough to like make me just like want to leave my body.
Yeah, I was gonna say that must have been like pants shittingly horrifying.
it, dude, that doesn't even begin to describe like the diarrhea I was getting from Resident Evil. But like and throughout like most of my life, like I just always avoided horror games. Personally because like, yeah, I'm chicken shit, but like also like part of me always thought that horror as a game genre was just kind of like gimmicky, like oh, it's going to be jump scares and this and that. And then I I wouldn't say like Resident Evil was the first thing that kind of turned me on that because I feel like I don't really talk about this much on the podcast, but I'm very much into cinema and filmmaking, and that's always kind of been like my upbringing. Like as much as I play video games, I've also been making short film and trying to like make movies like all my life. And the one thing I also could never do was horror movies. Although now in my adulthood, I have started now getting into horror movies, and I was like, you know what? Let's give horror games a shot because if I can find depth in these horror movies, then maybe that also like translates to games. And so I decided to start with Resident Evil 2 Remake because I heard good things about it. I'd seen fucking Mr. X memes and shit. I'm like, this is gonna be the thing that actually makes me want to die. I put in the game and like immediately like the game, like the movement, the game feel, like it clicked so perfectly. Like I don't think any other game could have gotten me into the horror genre other than Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Hmm.
Like it left such a good impression like immediately with how it controlled like the presentation and like the way just like because the story it is ridiculous but like it feels like I'm playing like a B movie and like in like the best way possible. And just like the amount of like the way the game encourages you to play it over and over again and like and even though like it's terrifying for me to play the game, there are definitely moments where I screamed playing Resident Evil 2 Remake. But at the same time, I totally understand that kick of adrenaline now. That like the thing that like drives me to want to keep going, the thing that like makes me feel the need to like plot what I need to like save, what I need to use in my inventory, like and like those moments of like pant shitting like fear where I just like fuck it, I am gonna use my grenades now, or like fuck it, I am gonna have to use these now because there's no way I'm gonna be able to fucking like get through this. It's its own like experience that I've never had with any other game genre, and like I don't know, man, like just Resident Evil was this perfect way to get me into a genre I didn't even know I'd enjoy.
Yeah, I think for me, the game that kind of got me into the horror genre was definitely Resident Evil 4.
Hmm.
Because just like it was like a good mix of like fear, because like you're like in that game you do not move fast,
Yeah, yeah.
and like even it gets even worse like when you're low on HP and you start to like stumble a bit,
Oh my god, yeah.
and like it gives you that genuine tension of like fear of like getting caught and like dying,
Yeah.
but it also plays like really well into the like if you're skilled you don't have to be afraid, but there's also like moments that really kind of like shock you.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fucking inventory in Resident Evil 4 so much.
Oh yeah, that's one of the greatest like inventory management games of all time.
I think it totally like fits with like the in terms of like survival horror because like if you're just rushing through or if you're like panicking, like you're just throwing shit in there and like sometimes you don't even know what you have, but like I feel like that kind of franticness totally lends itself to like that kind of feeling.
Yeah, it also adds like a bit of like drama and like, oh, do I want to pick up this ammo, or do I want to pick up this herb that might heal me like when I really need it?
Well, those moments where I had to make decisions, I hated so much in a good way because like it's supposed to make me frustrated. I'm supposed to have this conflicted like what do I need?
Yeah, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah, that decision making is such a just like oh my, it's so good.
Definitely.
Yeah, Resident Evil for sure is now like on my radar as like a series that I'm gonna be following as it keeps going. I really enjoyed Village. I think for the most part the reception's been pretty good on it. I do think it's not as scary as 7. 7 fucking scared the shit out of me several times.
Oh yeah. I
Seven
haven't
is
beaten
ah,
I haven't beaten 7. I've only played a little bit of it.
Oh my
But like the
god.
parts I did play, like literally had me like all my hair standing on end. I was like going through it slow. I was terrified
I like
playing 7.
I still don't know how the fuck I beat 7. I was like it was just moments where I'm literally just like have to force myself forward, man. Like, oh god.
Yeah, I was watching one of my friends. She tried streaming Final Fantasy or not Final Fantasy, I'm saying Resident Evil 7 VR,
Uh-huh.
and she literally could not get past the main menu. She was too scared.
Yeah, bro, fuck that. I will never do the VR for Resident Evil 7. Like, mark my word. There's like maybe if I lost a bet, but like fuck that. Oh my god. I kept constantly thinking throughout playing 7. I'm like, imagine just this with a fucking VR headset where I'm just locked into this world. Like, fuck that. No.
Yeah, that's
So
some
much fun.
shit.
Yeah, that's some shit. But yeah, so Resident Evil, that's on my list.
Nice. Yeah. For me, like kind of the last one for me, like, is just the concept of like battle royales.
Oh, interesting.
Like I've really gotten into battle royales recently. Like partly because on one end of the spectrum, it's just like good kind of stupid fun.
Yeah.
Like if I land in like a place and like because like the first battle royale that I played was PUBG.
Right, yeah.
And it's like if I land in a place and I don't get a good gun and the other guy just happens to find a gun and just kills me, like, well, there it goes. Like it's not like I can make the excuse that he didn't outskill me, he out RNG'd me.
Yeah, yeah.
But then like when I started playing battle royales more and more, and I started getting like I had this one game in PUBG where I dropped in school, which is like it's a very very heavily like populated area. I guess it's a very small area too.
Mm-hmm.
But like I just picked up a shotgun, which a lot of people say is like one of the worst guns in the game,
Yeah.
and I just ran through and I quite literally just killed everybody that dropped in school,
Oh my god.
and I just felt like I just felt like the ultimate like badass, and like I was like, I get it. I get why people play these games.
I get a similar thrill from battle royales that I get from playing roguelikes in a way. Just in the way that like every run is like different.
Yeah. That's one of the like my favorite things about the battle royale is that every time you play, it's a different experience.
Mm-hmm. Like same map, but totally different experience.
Yeah, because it depends on what you find. It depends on like on where you drop. It depends on where the circle is going to close off or whatever. Like for me, it's just a lot of fun to play a battle royale because of those reasons. It's just very very exciting in the sense that like games could either be like 5 minutes or like 30 minutes. It could be
Yeah.
like and then like playing with friends too and just doing like really stupid shit, kind of like, oh, let's all drop in different areas and just see how many people we can kill, even though we're playing like a team based game.
Yeah, that's so
or
true though.
or like let's just drop here and like just like this is like we know it's the most populated area, let's just all drop here and let's just see what happens.
Yeah, doing squad stuff in battle royales is always just like I always feel like I'm just like the little brother like being tagged along whenever that happens though, just because like usually it'll be with people that know what they're doing, and then they'll just like, oh yeah, let's drop into this area. It's like I usually just go in the middle of like nowhere, and I'll manage to find something by just scavenging around. I'll get someone's like leftovers, but like when I'm with like an aggressive team and I just gotta like go with them, I'm always like, oh god, like.
Yeah, so exactly the same for me because all my friends are pretty much like good at FPS games and I'm like complete kind of dog shit at them.
Same.
But like I'm never gonna forget this one game we had where we dropped on like the military base island of PUBG.
Yeah.
Um, and all three of my friends died, and I just kind of ran away. And like a supply crate dropped in the middle of the ocean. I picked it up. I got what is now my favorite gun in PUBG, the Groza.
Mm-hmm.
And I 1v4'd an entire enemy team.
Oh
while my
god.
friends were watching, while they were spectating me, and it was just the most insane experience. And like that was like when I had the rush of like oh my god, battle royales are so sick.
I know exactly the feeling you're describing too. Like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and so like because of that, it's like I went from PUBG to playing. I've played Apex Legends, which I really enjoy.
Right,
Um,
gotta get into that one.
there's a Call of Duty Warzone.
Yeah, that's been the one that I most common go back to.
Yeah, I'm sad I can't play because it just crashes on my computer
It's also
constantly.
like fucking 100 gigabytes. It's shit.
Yeah. There's also this is kind of a battle royale, but also not really. Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah, that's still a game I have like barely been able to even like understand.
Yeah, it's there's a huge learning curve because like you can like take apart like every piece of your gun and like customize it. It's very like in depth in that way.
That's like chaotic evil roguelike multiplayer game.
Yeah, it's very much like a roguelike because if you die you lose all your shit.
Yeah. That's all I always think about with that game. Where I'm like, that just God, that is stressful, but I could totally see the fun in that.
Oh my god, when you get like a good run in Tarkov and you kill like 2 or 3 people and a bunch of scavs and you make it out with like a bunch of rare shit, like you feel so good.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, and most recently, it's been Turn or Turn Black Survival, which is uh like a game that I've been playing a lot because it combines the MOBA and the battle royale genres.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm not gonna sit here and talk about like I like a lot of MOBAs because I've tried other MOBAs and literally the only one I enjoy is League of Legends. Like I tried Smite, definitely wasn't for me.
Mm.
I tried I've tried Dota 2 and Dota 2 is way too big brain for me.
Damn,
Like
really?
oh
Dota 2 is
yeah,
always the one I hear like non-stop about, other than League of
it
Legends.
it's cuz it's like kind of like the original MOBA,
Ah, okay.
but it is so much more complicated than League.
Mm-hmm.
And like I get it, like from like a competitive standpoint, I can totally understand why people love Dota 2 and like they won't touch League because of it.
Yeah, that makes
But for
sense.
me, there's so much to think about in Dota that like I my brain cannot process it. But Eternal Return Black Survival is a good mix of MOBA uh what's it called, and battle royale that just to me is like the perfect marriage of the two.
But yeah, from watching you play it, like even I was like, oh, this is actually like I could probably get into that.
That's about it for me.
Oh well, for my top overall encompassing adult life, uh, it's just it's a little game, tiny game. Some people might know about it, but it's Breath of the Wild, and
I think I've heard of that one before.
yeah, it's kind of niche. It's got a cult following. But yeah, Breath of the Wild, I don't know if I've said it before on the podcast. I know I've said it on streams, but easily Breath of the Wild has become my favorite Zelda game. And it came out just at the right time for me. Because right around the time that like the Switch came out, like I think the most recent game I played at that point was like Persona 5. And like while I loved like Persona so much, I just kind of like was at a point where I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to recapture like that magic feeling of like what playing a game was like when I was a kid. Specifically like Mario 64, like what I was talking about during that time. And then when I got to actually finally get my Switch and play Breath of the Wild, I've never before had an experience knock me back and experience exactly what like I felt as a kid. Like that desire to explore everything, that desire to like look over every inch to find every secret. It was literally that same feeling I got from playing Mario 64 and like going throughout the whole castle I had now in Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. I definitely 100% understand what you're talking about when you say that.
It just like it was the game that like really rejuvenated my love for video games because again, like I loved Persona 5, but that was like at the time, like other than just like kind of multiplayer games that I was playing just to play with friends, but I wasn't really like that into. Like I really felt like single player wise in games like that, I was like, oh, there's not really much to play, and I don't know if like maybe I'm growing out of gaming. But when Breath of the Wild came out, it was like this moment where I'm like, nope, I love video games. Actually, video games are great, and I'm never gonna stop playing them. Whoops. It like was that one thing that at that crossroads of my life where I'm like, maybe I don't enjoy this, or maybe I'm gotta move on to something else. Breath of the
Mhm.
Wild was like, no, remember why you love video games. This is why you love it. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're right. Shit, like I'd been missing this whole time. And
Yeah.
then like I got to like experience like seeing Maya, who again, I basically introduced her to a lot of like gaming stuff because she'd never played anything like Breath of the Wild, like a third person adventure game or anything, and seeing her like play it and like seeing her fall in love with the game and like growing close to her and like it was like just this game like encompassed like a lot of just like really important parts of my adulthood that I'm always gonna be grateful for, and I sincerely hope to can keep the magic alive. Even if not, I always have Breath of the Wild, and like that's fine by me.
Hmm. I do want to add like something real
Oh
quick,
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
about it. Um, One is speedrunning games.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like just getting into uh speedrunning and getting into like watching like games done quick as well as learning speedrun strats for certain games. Like I the only thing I will say that I've speedrun is the trial modes for Yun or the trials for Yun and Ultra Street Fighter 4.
Right, right.
Um
You actually
but
have a place. You've placed it.
yeah, I have the world record for that.
Let's go.
But the like when you pull off like some speedrun stuff in any game, I don't know if you've ever tried it before, because I know you did a
Backwards
little bit
long
of
jump, baby.
yeah, backwards long jump, like doing stuff like that in
Oh,
speedrun
it's so
games,
cool.
or like doing like one of those momentum launches in Breath of the Wild,
Oh my god, yeah.
like doing stuff like that, and like just like watching it happen, it it feels so good. It's so cool.
It's like a whole other like because like you it's almost like this the thrill of like being back is like ooh it's like I'm not supposed to be doing this but
Yeah.
and then just seeing like how much like you benefit from doing it and like the just the velocity. I just keep thinking about the velocity. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah, it's like for me like that's one of my favorite things just because of you know what you like it's just like cool stuff that you get to happen from abusing video games.
Oh yeah, totally.
And I guess this would apply for both like high school and elementary school as well. Um I love puzzle games.
Hmm.
Like in particular, one is Tetris.
Yes,
I'm a huge Tetris fan. Like Tetris 99 is like my shit because it's a battle royale Tetris game.
it's actually so good. I think everybody
and
knows
then
that though.
and then another game that I have on my list or for puzzle games is Pokemon Puzzle League.
Oh my god.
Quite literally my favorite puzzle game of all time.
Oh, I
Not a
hear
lot
my
of people know
cousins
about it.
shouting about Puzzle League now. Now you've brought it up.
Oh, it's so good, and people don't play against me because they see me play once and they're like, "Nah, I'm not about that."
Oh my god, dude. Puzzle League is such like it's so beyond just like the Pokemon like thing. I mean, it was already wasn't is Puzzle League and Tetris Attack the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like the original game is called Panel de Pon.
Yeah, yeah. The girl from that has a trophy. Smash Brothers. I
Yeah,
remember that
but
because I was like, who are you?
yeah, I love puzzle games of all types. Except
Yeah.
like I'm not very good at Puyo Puyo.
See, there we go. That's where we differ.
Oh, are you good at Puyo Puyo?
Fucking love Puyo Puyo.
I'm sorry, Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
That is literally how I got into Puyo Puyo. Like, it's like the most American way to get into Puyo Puyo. I feel like every American that got into Puyo Puyo was because of Mean Bean Machine.
Yeah, like I was never good at Puyo Puyo. I also really like Capcom's puzzle game Gem Fighter.
Oh, Gem Fighter's cool.
Yeah, I actually like recently bought like a $70 copy of Super Gem Fighter 2 for the PlayStation 1.
Damn, dude. Holy shit.
Because like I saw it on sale at like a retro game store and I'm like, I gotta have it.
Yeah, no.
Because I have another friend who really likes it, but like just having the original like very first version of it is just like I had to get it.
Totally. Totally. Yeah, man. I the one puzzle game I gotta say, like, I only discovered recently was what's it called? Picross.
Oh, Picross is a lot of fun.
It's such just like such a nice, fun, laid back, like, let me just like it's like the same feeling I'd get from doing like a crossword puzzle or like anything like that. Like I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's my happy place, peaceful time game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Does that complete our list?
I believe so.
Well, looking back on it, how would you say all this has affected your taste?
I think it had a pretty, like, for me, it seems like almost kind of like a natural evolution to see that, like, the games I enjoyed when I was younger, I still kind of enjoy now. It's just I got more into the competitive side of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously you got way more into the competitive side of things.
Yeah, how about you?
Well, definitely like just because like I always try to avoid competition and stuff, and I definitely reflects in my games. I definitely, played a lot of just platforming simple games to start with, and that kind of branched me out into making friends. And then when I saw what they were playing, well, I decided to try that. And I feel like in a way in high school, like playing a lot of like Call of Duty and Halo, and uh I think when earlier when I was mentioning like I was playing games that like I wasn't really like enjoying but was playing for the friendship, I was specifically referring to Destiny. I hope I'm not talking shit on Destiny. I think it's a fine
I
game.
understand. I understand.
But it was very much like all my friends are playing this and here I am playing it with them. Um
Also, I don't want to alarm you, but it's very close to 3:30.
oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then definitely Breath of the Wild was this game that kind of resurged my interest in actually like it reminded me of why I loved video games and kind of gave me the confidence to say, hey, all those games I remember avoiding because I was too afraid or like didn't really want to challenge myself or didn't really want to do it. It's like, hey, let's go do that. Like, why not? Like, we've now, like, I've been in this lull of like not really knowing if I want to keep playing video games. Breath of the Wild was that game that was like, no, dude, you are passionate about this. You like love like all these things. Just go out and see what there is to offer. And it's even got me interested in like competitive gaming and like playing with you at Curry House with Smash Bros. Like now I'm more interested in like actually seeing if it's possible for me to even like get better to that extent. Seeing like all that's possible. Like it's basically just seeing how much I kind of like the only thing that really limited what I was playing was myself. And then realizing that at the end, like at the beginning of my adulthood to now to the point where I'm like, I want to see everything there is.
Mm-hmm.
And I really just I'm shocked to see where I've come from because like if I told myself that like I would back in middle school that I'm gonna love Resident Evil when I'm an adult, I would never have thought that.
Yeah, I definitely feel that because, like, for me, horror games kind of became something that I was really interested in high school. Like, I wouldn't say like I was like super into it,
Hmm.
but like getting into like Resident Evil and stuff made me really appreciate horror games a lot more.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, that overall God, dude, this is such like I almost feel like emotional like looking back on it all. It seems crazy, all the time that's passed.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this conversation, just talking about, our history of gaming, I guess.
Yeah, and like how it put us towards like where we are now, where I'd consider myself more casual, even though now I'm more kind of starting to branch out and be more interested. But like hearing like your competitive side, like it's such a different experience. It's fascinating to me.
Oh, I'm glad that you're interested in it.
But yeah, so I guess that brings us to the end of this episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Boy, it's
Uh,
been an adventure.
that it has. That it definitely has.
Thank you to everybody who's been listening, who's been enjoying this. If anything, always feel free. You can comment, let us know maybe some of your experiences, stuff like that. We always love to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. I love just hearing how people, get into things and like how they proceed in their own way.
Hell yeah. And anyway, I've been TJ,
And I've been Tias.
and this has been the Untitled Gaming Podcast Project. We will see you guys on the next episode. Have a lovely, lovely day.
Yes, thank you very much for listening. Have a good day.